first pitch is Bob Hurst. Bob is board chair of the San Rafael Chamber of Commerce. He also manages the San Rafael Airport and is passionate about sustainability in baseball. Bob coaches his son's Little League team. And here he is. Please welcome Bob Herbst. Catching for Bob is the Pacific Mike McClellan. Nice job, Bob. Up second, throwing out a ceremonial first pitch, a young man with a last name that is no stranger to San Rafael or Marin County. Please welcome, representing Team Diego Brothers, none other than J.D. Diego.
Oh, come on!
Looked like a purpose pitch there, a little high and tight.
Do it again. Yeah, go again.
Our third ceremonial first pitch participant, William Woods, is a native of Memphis, Tennessee, and he's recently moved to San Rafael just 3 weeks ago. He is the Scholars Educational Director for Bridge the Gap College Prep, which is an after-school program in Marin City geared towards providing academic support to Marin City youth. All right, Will. Nice job, Will.
Good job, Will.
And catching for Will tonight was Pat Barnett. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let me introduce General Manager of the San Rafael Pacifics, Mike Shapiro.
In August of 1989, Dave Dravecki, on a beautiful, sparkling candlestick afternoon, defeated the Cincinnati Reds, going 8 innings, giving up 4 hits. And what was most remarkable about that incredible performance was that David had come back from defeating cancer in his left arm and still made it out to a major league mound and defeated the Cincinnati Reds team that was pretty stocked with good players. To me, that crystallized who Dave Dravecki is. Dave Dravecki is a courageous man. He's an inspiration to all of us, and he's a personal hero and dear friend of mine. I'd like to introduce you to David Dravecki.
Thank you very much. You know what, we're going to push this so I can be in the shade. It's a privilege for me to be here tonight. I was talking to the ball club earlier in the clubhouse and just telling them how special it was to be able to spend a little bit of time with them, because it brought back incredible memories of when I was their age, and I found myself in the same position with hopes and dreams of becoming a Major League Baseball player. So, you know, Mike, I can't thank you enough for allowing me to do that. That was pretty special for me. You know, tonight there's something that I obviously would like to share with you. It revolves around more than just Dave Dravecki as a baseball player. There's so many things that I've learned about life, and most of it has been through the journey of pain and suffering. You know, there's a significant question that I had to ask as I went through those difficult times, and that question was this: how does Dave Dravecki define his true worth? Because you see, for most of my life, worth was measured by how much I had or how much I didn't have. Worth was measured by success and failure. Worth was measured by stuff. And either you had a lot of stuff, some stuff, or no stuff at all. And all too often I was defining myself based on whether or not I could perform well enough so that I could acquire all these things. And I discovered through the journey of pain and suffering that there was so much more. And so tonight I want to take you on a journey so that you can understand how I arrived to the answer of that question: how do you and I define our true worth? And please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that things in and of themselves are bad. But what I am saying is that there is so much more to life than just things. This game provides an incredible opportunity for young kids from the time they're 7 years of age, well, I guess now from the time they're 5 years of age, and maybe 4, all the way up to being able to be the age of these young men, and then some of us who still don't want to quit. I was actually telling these guys if I had my left arm, I wouldn't mind throwing BP to them and wearing them out with my cutter all night long. But there's some interesting things about my story that get to this point of answering the question. And you have to know something about me. So tonight I'm going to share a little bit of the good, a little bit of the bad, and a little bit of the ugly, because that's my life. And quite frankly, as we sit here in these stands, that's our lives, if we're going to be honest and truthful about who we are. I've had some great experiences. I went to Youngstown State University, played for the YSU Penguins, had a great experience in college, but you need to know I was a walk-on. There wasn't one college in the entire country at that time in my life that recruited me to play baseball for them. Not one. No scholarships, nothing. And because I loved the game so much, I walked on and I played at Youngstown State University. And I was there for 4 years. And in the summer of 1978, I was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 21st round. Back then, you know what kind of bonus money they gave you in the 21st round? I got a cup of coffee. And they paid me $500 a month. And I thought I was rich, man. I went and I played the second half of a full season down in Charleston, South Carolina, Class A ball. And I'll never forget, man, I made $500 a month, and even I could calculate what my income was. And that fall, I got married, came home, got married, and realized how grateful I was to supplement my wife's income. I'm sure some of you in the stands are familiar with that. From there, I was traded. I ended up being in Pittsburgh and got traded to the San Diego Padres, and I got a new lease on life in a young organization, and there were so many good things that were happening in my life at that point. In the summer of 1981, I was working with the AA ball club, and my season started 1-4, but I ended up 15-5 because I had an amazing coach that invested in me, not only as a baseball player, but as a young man. And I am so grateful for that. His name was Eddie Watt, and is Eddie Watt. And he taught me a lot about the game of baseball, but he was also there as a mentor. And I was so grateful for that experience that summer, because at the end of that summer, I was selected the minor league pitcher of the year. But folks, even more important than that, the success on the field, there was something else that was going on in my life during that time. I was wrestling with a lot of questions about the meaning and purpose of life. And it was that summer, through being challenged by a teammate of mine to read the Bible, that I became a Christian. And so the experience of that year was so amazing for me. Little would I know how important that would be as I would begin to journey with the uncertainty of life and the diagnosis of cancer. And obviously, it was that experience in 1981 that gave me the hope that I needed so desperately when I found myself in such a desperate place after being diagnosed. But before we get there, I want you to know that 1982 was a pretty special year as well, because it was there on June 6th of 1982 that my daughter Tiffany was born, my little princess. And I've got to tell you, she now has a little baby girl, and that's my little princess number 2. Her name is Francesca, and the only reason why it's Francesca is because I requested they were going to call her Frankie, and I think Frankie's really cool, but I love Francesca. And I told them if I was babysitting, it was going to be Francesca. And so I ended up winning. And now I have this little princess number 2, Francesca. And it was such a special moment for me, having a baby girl and now having a family, something that I had dreamed about for years. And it was such a good time in my life. 2 days later, playing AAA ball in Hawaii for the San Diego Padres. Life couldn't get any better, man, playing baseball in Hawaii and now being a dad. And all of a sudden I got a phone call from Bob Cluck, the farm director, and I'll never forget, on the phone he congratulated us on the birth of our child, but almost in the same breath he said, "Dave, you're going to the big leagues." I was overwhelmed with joy. Man, life was just so good. 1983, I'm in an All-Star game. 1984, by the way, I just spent some time at the All-Star game in San Diego and had a chance to be with Fred Lynn, and he was one of the guys I struck out in the All-Star game, which was really cool. All of a sudden, 1984, I found myself in the World Series. And the Tigers beat the tar out of us that year, but you know what I discovered? The losers get really nice rings too. And I actually had possessed 2 losers' rings that I was really proud of. You know, in '87, I got traded from the last place team in the Padres to the first place San Francisco Giants. We went into postseason play that year, and I pitched the 2 best games of my career. Life couldn't get any better. All of a sudden, 1988 rolls around. Picture this, Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine, 50,000 plus, getting ready to watch opening day, and Roger Craig selected me as the opening day pitcher for the San Francisco Giants in 1988, and it was Dave Dravecky versus Fernando Valenzuela. You could not have painted a better picture. And that day, we actually defeated the Dodgers 5-1. And I will tell you this. Thank you. Yeah, I can tell I'm in Giants country. One of the things that pitchers love bragging about, it has nothing to do with their pitching, it has everything to do with their hitting. And that day I hit a double off of Fernando. You know, yeah. Oh no, seriously? Not here. Let's go Giants is a little better. All of a sudden, by the end of 1988, I was struggling and having physical problems, and now a small lump had developed on the outside of my left arm. And needless to say, there was tremendous concern. And with that, we had an MRI, and I went in to see the doctors, and my wife and I were sitting in the examining room, and while we were sitting there, we were waiting for the results to come back, and up until that point, we thought that I was dealing with Blocker's bruise. Pitchers use their arms a tremendous amount. They tear muscle fiber every time they throw a baseball. And what they thought had happened was some of that muscle fiber had literally pulled away and calcified and hardened, and now there was a mass sitting there. So the whole time I'm sitting in the examining room, all I'm thinking about is Blocker's bruise. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to remove it and get on with life. And as Jan and I were sitting there, the doctors were on the outside of the door. It was opened up just a few inches, and they started talking about my diagnosis, and for the first time, I heard the word cancer. And man, I gotta tell you, I was so scared. I had no idea what was going to happen. And for the first time in my life, I was face to face with my own mortality and the question, will I live or die from this disease? The doctors looked at me and said, outside of a miracle, you'll never pitch again. And all of a sudden, I went into this different place, and I started thinking about my life. And I had a lot of questions about living and dying. And I had a lot of questions around my wife and my family. And if I died from this disease, who would marry my wife? Who would be the father of my children? And then I thought, would this person love my family as much as I do? And then, all of a sudden, I thought, oh my gosh, I know who I am. Will that man love my family more than I do? And that was a real gut check, guys. Because so much of life was always all about me. And I realized that there were some things that were a whole lot more important than little old Dave. All of a sudden, I went into surgery, And 10 months later, I'm standing on the mound in Candlestick Park, getting ready to pitch when the doctor said, outside of a miracle, you'll never pitch again. And I thought to myself, I've overcome cancer. The bad is gone. I can now just get on with life and enjoy my career and sign a really nice long-term contract. And 5 days later, I threw a pitch in Montreal against Tim Raines, and my left arm snapped in half, and my career came to an end. From there, the doctors said there was more cancer, so there were more surgeries, there was radiation therapy, there was a staph infection that lasted for 10 months, and finally the culmination of 2.5 years of going through all of that, the doctor said it's finally time to remove your left arm and shoulder. And at that point, I had found myself ready to move on. If you get rid of my arm, you can get rid of the pain and all my problems. Little did I know that after the amputation, I would end up in an identity crisis, and things would go from bad to worse. And all of a sudden now, I had a hard time talking about what was going on inside of me, missing the game that I loved more than anything else, wondering how I'm going to provide for my family. I came at the end of 1989, my contract ended. There was no deferred compensation. I was not on a big deal. I had to find a job, and how was I going to work now that I was an amputee? I went into clinical depression. And in that clinical depression, all of a sudden, I became a very angry man and became extremely abusive, verbally abusive to my wife and my children. And at that point in my journey, life was hell. Life was hell. But help was on the way. And all of a sudden, through the encouragement of some really dear friends, my wife and I got into counseling, I got on medication, and we began to heal together on this journey. And 25 years later, I'm so grateful that my wife is still with me, and we are celebrating 38 years this year. I am so grateful. Thank you. For being on the other side and having a life and knowing that life can go on when you felt like there was no hope in sight. Realizing that there is a plan and a purpose in life, and that for me, it is having the privilege and being able to come to places like this that I do not take for granted. This is a sacred, sacred place where a sacred game is played and where people come and enjoy. And to have the privilege to stand here and to tell you this story in hopes that there might be just one person out there that is encouraged by what they hear is worth being here tonight. And then to get the opportunity to sit and watch these young men play a game that I love very much. And I can never, ever get sick and tired of watching baseball. Ever.
Yeah, Dave!
So, what has Dave learned through all of this? What have I learned? Live fully present in each and every moment. Don't try and do life alone. We need each other. And realize you always have something to offer to a friend. And the most important thing that you can offer to a friend is simply to be there, especially in the difficult times. I didn't want somebody to try and fix me. I just wanted to know that there were people there to love me. And I can't tell you how grateful I am for those people. What have I learned? My faith has played a huge part in the hope that I have as I stand here before you. But I've discovered that there is nothing more important than this. It's not what you do that matters most. It is who you are. And when you begin to understand who you are, it will affect everything you do. And who are we? Ladies and gentlemen, we were created to relate with one another. We are relational beings. And so relationship is at the center of who Dave Dravecky is. And I will never forget that. And that is something that is so important to me that I don't want to take for granted. Even meeting someone like you tonight that I may not know and realizing how special that moment is. And I hope we all realize that as we relate to one another. That's what I've discovered about life. I also know I haven't arrived. I've got a long way to go and there's a lot of learning in front of me. I'm going to continue to make mistakes, but thank God His grace is sufficient in the mistakes and in the stuff of life that doesn't look pretty. And so I continue to live, but I live fully present in each moment as best I can. And last but not least, the one thing that my father taught me was, whatever you do, Dave, have fun doing it. And so I'm having a ton of fun living life. Thank you, God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Trebecki.
There you go, that's what you came for.
Lineup first off for the Vallejo Admirals. Vallejo coming into action today at 8-8. They are 23-22 overall. They're 3 games back of San Rafael in the second half standings. Gadiel Baez will lead off. He is the shortstop. Darian Sanford is batting second, and he's in center field. P.J. Phillips is the 3-batter. He's the DH. Joe Hicks is going to be the cleanup hitter. He's in left today. Tim Williams is batting fifth. He's in right field. Gerald Bautista is batting sixth, the third baseman. Lydell Mosby hitting seventh. He's at first base with Kyle Figueroa hitting eighth. And doing the catching, Alian Silva will bat ninth. Be the second baseman today. Brent Adheen, the left-hander, will get the start for Vallejo this evening. Adheen is 1-0 this year with a 1.45 ERA. He has been wild at times, though. For the Pacifics, they are 11-5 in the second half, good for first place. They're also 32-23 overall. Also first place in the overall standing. Zach Pace will lead off. He's in center. Chase Tucker is batting second. He's at second base. Jake Taylor, the 3-batter, at third, with Mike Kelhova hitting cleanup. And he is out in right field. Garrett Gimiani up to the 5 spot, the rookie. In his 6th game with the Pacifics, he's the DH today. Daniel Gonzalez batting 6th. And he's at short. Mike McClellan batting 7th at first. Ricky Gingras will do the catching today and bat 8th. And Johnny Bakakis will round out the lineup in left field. So with Warner getting the start, Brandon in 17 appearances, 3 of them starts. He's 1-3 with a 6.97 earned run average. He has struck out 26 men and walked just 14 in 29 2/3 innings pitched. So you're hoping a couple of things if you're the Pacifics. First off, that Ormseth's newest setback is not too serious, one. And two, that Warner, who appears to have finished his warm-up pitches, can come on and get the Pacifics a quality start. The Pacifics were hoping for a good 5 innings out of Ormseth today. And with the bullpen fresh, though, that is the good sign that Warner, who has been able to give them 3 spot starts this year, they're hoping that he can go maybe 4 or 5 today. Escobar is available, Bunda is available, Monzo and Kirshner have all not thrown. Nate Gherkin was activated off the disabled list last week, so he should be good to go, as well as we move towards game time. And a pretty big game for the Pacifics. Of course, they took last night's game by a score of 2-1, thanks to a great pitching performance by Pat Barnett. And now the Pacifics have seen 3 stellar starts in a row. Celso Polanco started it off with 6 innings of 2-run baseball on Saturday. Patrick Conroy, of course, the complete game, 3-hit shutout on Sunday. And then Pat Barnett, 1 run over 9 innings last night on just 3 hits. And well, Barnett, only time he really struggles in that 6th inning. And he walked Sanford with 2 outs. Sanford then stole second and then was driven home by Williams' RBI single up the middle. We'll pause now for the performance of the national anthem. First pitch is coming up next. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network.
Here. Oh, and you didn't get it?
Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, at this time we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps.
Here we go.
In honor of America and the brave men and women who serve our great nation at home and around the world, And brought to you by Marin Subaru and Terrapin Crossroads, we present Kim Lafrano for this performance of our national anthem.
This will not be as good as Bella, but I will give it my best shot. Oh, say, can you see? Too high. I'm starting over. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How's that for a spot of the moment? Pinch hitter Kim Lafrano comes off the bench and she delivers. And I'm sure Kim would like to thank all of you who helped her out with that song. Very nice, fans, very nice. And now, let's meet your Pacifics on defense. Over at first base, Mike McClellan. At second, Chase Tucker. Over at shortstop, it's Gonzo, Daniel Gonzalez.
The Admirals, San Rafael taking game one. There'll be 6 games total between these two teams this week. First 5 will be here in San Rafael, and then the culmination of the series will be Sunday afternoon at Wilson Park in Vallejo. Friday and Sunday's games will be making some baseball history. They'll both be timed, 2 hours and 30 minutes. And Friday will be the first time in baseball history that a pro baseball game will be on the game clock. It'll be here at Albert Park, and tickets are still available for that game at pacificsbaseball.com. And it's interesting, the team is claiming that they hate the idea. In fact, President General Manager Mike Shapiro was quoted as saying this is a terrible idea, but we think that pace of play is going too far in all the notions in baseball right now, so we're going to take it to the extreme just to prove that it doesn't work. Either way, the game will last 2 hours and 30 minutes. In the event of a tie, they'll go to international tiebreaker rules, but one of the quickest baseball games you will ever see this Friday here at Albert Park. Either way, for game 2 of this series, it'll be Brandon Warner who needs to make the spot start for the Pacifics. Warner, who's made 3 starts this season and has done well on a couple of them. His overall numbers not that good, but they're not an indication of what Warner's been able to do this season. All right, Baez will stand in, and we are underway. Gadiel Baez, switch hitter who is batting left-handed at .241 this year, and he has 1 home run, 19 RBIs. The home run came on opening day for Vallejo back on May 31st. And Baez will work against Warner, who works from the stretch. Base is empty. He kicks and he delivers the first pitch of the ball game, and a fastball on the outside for a strike. And we are underway at 7:36 p.m.
Time of the first pitch, 7:36. Temperature, 64 degrees.
Warner working with good pace. And the 0-1. And Baez squares the bunt, gets it down foul, third base side. And quickly, Warner will work ahead in the count, 0-2. Warner features a fastball, mid to high 80s, and a slow curveball will drop in a splitter every once in a while. It's mostly the fastball curveball combination. And will do him best. As Warner at the belt, and he kicks and he delivers, and Baez swings and lifts one down the left field line, slicing away from Bukakis. That's going to get down for a base hit. Baez can fly. He's headed for second. Bukakis' throw will be into second base. Plenty late, though, on 2 hops. Baez stands in, or slides in safely with a leadoff double. That's how we get started here this evening. And now Darian Sanford will come to the plate. Well, third pitch of the ball game, Warner threw him a challenge fastball, and Baez could not have placed it more perfectly down the left field line. Oh, a lot of speed for this Admirals team. We'll see how they approach it here with a go-ahead run on second base, and Sanford coming up. Sanford will often bunt. The corners pull in to compensate, and now Gingras will head out to the mound and talk things over with Warner. Defensively for the Pacifics this evening, Johnny Bukakis is in left field with Zach Pace in center, and Michael Hova in right. Mike McClellan's the first baseman. Chase Tucker is second, with Daniel Gonzalez at shortstop, Jake Taylor at third, and Ricky Gingras behind the dish. Sanford, another switch hitter, also from the left side. And Darian hitting .262. No home runs, does have 6 doubles, and has driven in 18. McClellan's way in at first base. Taylor's on the grass at third. Baez fakes, and Sanford pulls the bunt, takes the fastball high. And it is 1-0. Lights already illuminated because of the later start time here at Albert Park. Warner still searching for his first out of the ball game. Now, Sanford will strike out if he can get ahead of him. In fact, he's been punched out 37 times this season, 202 at-bats, as he swings and grounds one sharply to the right side through the wickets of Chase Tucker. That's going to be an error on him, but Baez will scoot around third and come in to score. An easy E4. And not sure what happened there. Must have just taken a strange bounce on Chase. Either way, it is a 1-0 Admirals lead. Sanford is at first, and there is still nobody out here in the first inning. I'm going to go down as an unearned run, at least for the moment. P.J. Phillips now, the player manager. He's hitting .242. He has 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. Phillips seeing less playing time of late. Stands in from the right side, an open stance, and Warner will check over. Back head first is Sanford. The officiating crew for tonight's game, Eric Thompson is behind the dish, and Dean Poteet will be out on the base paths. Now, Sanford can fly, league record 45 steals, and we still have 24 games remaining in the year. Healthy lead, not going, and Phillips takes a fastball. And not missing by much from Warner there. It's 1-0. Often see the Pacifics work in a pitch out with Sanford on first base. He was able to beat the throw to second despite being caught in the midst of a pitch out yesterday. Just how fast he is. 1-0, Warner from the stretch. Sanford fakes, and Phillips takes a fastball. Strike on the inside at the belt. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to P.J. Phillips. Beautiful night at Albert Park. There's not a cloud in the sky, and a light breeze heading in from left center. We've seen that with consistency over the last couple of weeks. Spin and a check over. Sanford was leaning, but he'll get back head first. It'll stay 1-1 to Phillips here. 1-0 Admirals leading here in the first inning. Still nobody out. A hit and an error. And the Pacifics' errorless streak will end at 25 innings. 1-1. Sanford fakes, and Phillips swings and drives one out into right field. Hova gliding back with some room in front of the wall. He makes the catch, and Sanford's going to try and tag. Hova rifles it in, so Sanford will retreat back to the bag. So allowed out here in the first inning. But Warner does retire his first man, and now Joe Hicks will come up. And Brandon Warner is not being asked to do something easy here. Standing in for a pitcher when you weren't expecting to start today. As a starting pitcher, everybody has their own different routines. Some guys are, well, they're much more involved with their routines, whether it's listening to a certain playlist in a certain order from a certain time of the day, or some guys just come out and hang out at the ballpark and just relax. Everybody has their own thing. First pitch to Hicks, a pitch out, and Sanford not going anywhere. and it is 1-0. Yeah, Warner didn't get to do any of that today. He came into the game prepared to come out of the bullpen, and right before first pitch, as Ormseth was warming up, he was summoned out to the bullpen. 1 ball and no strikes. Warner at the belt. A spin and a check over, and Sanford back head first once more. Hicks is hitting .266. He has 4 home runs and 16 runs batted in. The 4 homers tied for the team lead. 1-0 pitch. Sanford can't get good footing, so tries to steal and stays there. It's 2-0. He's trying to get a first jump a couple of times. Either he's not getting the jump he's hoping for, or he's just slipping out there. 2 balls and no strikes. Warner at the belt. Gingras sets up away. Sanford does go. It's swung on and missed. Now the throw behind him at first. Just back head first, Darian Sanford. He stopped halfway. Gingras was ready with the back pick. And it'll be a 2-1 count. A healthy hack by Joe Hicks on that one.
And Carlene McCart to the Pacific's first base dugout area, please. Bob and Carlene to the Pacific's first base.
On the middle infield, a double play depth. Taylor is back at third. Hicks has grounded into just 1 double play this season. Despite his size, he does move well. 2-1. As Warner is set at the belt, and he'll step off. Leadoff double by Baez, then the error on the ground ball through Tucker's legs. Gives Vallejo an early lead here in the first. 2-1. Another check over from Warner, and Sanford is back head first once more. Most of his collegiate time, Warner was not at all used as a starter. 17 innings his senior season for Cal State Northridge. As he's at the belt, 2-1. He deals, and Hicks swings and pops it foul right side, and that'll get out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he's shown a good amount of flexibility for the Pacifics this season, whether it be coming in as a spot starter, being asked to eat up 2 or 3 innings in any given situation. And though his numbers have not been as strong as some other members of the bullpen, he's been a key component of this team. Sanford goes 2-2 curveball taken high, throw down to second, and Sanford slides in head first, well ahead of the tag. Well, Sanford picked the right pitch to go on that one, the loopy curveball from Warner. And with the jump he got, and with the pitch that was thrown, and the curveball is in the low 70s, maybe high 60s at times from Warner, you don't have much of a chance to get him at second. So now the double play is out of order. Warner will try and focus on getting the hitter here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Warner set at the belt. And here's the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase it down below the zone. Hicks is frustrated with himself. Big time strikeout by Brandon Warner. Now there are 2 outs here in the first inning for Tim Williams. Williams is hitting .308. He has 4 home runs, tied with Hicks for the team lead. He also has 29 RBIs, one of the better overall players on the team.
Right fielder, Tim Williams.
Williams from the right side. Slightly open the stands. Warner, a couple of looks at second. Hence Sanford goes. The pitch is swung on and skied out. Medium right center. Pace drifting over to his left. Onto the grass he goes. He makes the one-handed catch, and the side is out here in the first inning. So 1 run, it is unearned to Warner on 1 hit, 1 man left. For the Admirals, middle of 1. It is a 1-0 Admirals lead. You're listening to the Centerfield Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. And Pace does have 4 doubles, but the low batting average does not tell the whole story of Zach Pace's season. In fact, not even close. Zach, despite the low average, has a .424 on-base percentage. First pitch to him, and he takes a fastball, missing outside from Adheen, and it is 1-0. The left-hander Brent Adheen getting the start. 2 appearances for the Admirals this year. He has a 1-0 record with a 1.45 ERA. 1-0, and Pace takes another fastball. That one misses off the plate outside, 2-0. He has struck out 9 and walked 11 in 12 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 4 runs, 2 of which were earned on 9 hits. 2-0, and Pace takes a fastball, outside corner strike, and it is 2-1. So what Adheen is going to give you is dynamic stuff. Doesn't always know where it's going. 2-1 pitch, and Pace takes a fastball, outside corner strike again. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Pace choked up on the bat. Started things off yesterday by walking and then scoring later in the inning. 2-2, breaking ball, swung on, chopped up the middle, over to his right, Silva. Fields on the run, throws on the run. It's in time to get Pace. And there's one away here in the first inning. Defensive lineup for the Admirals this evening. Joe Hicks is in left field with Darian Sanford in center. And Tim Williams over in right. Lydell Mosby's at first base with Alian Silva at second. The shortstop is Gadi Albayez, the third baseman Gerald Bautista, and Kyle Figueroa doing the catching for Vallejo this evening. So Chase Tucker now a league-leading .316 batting average, a pair of home runs, and 28 RBIs for him this year. As Adheen into his windup, first pitch to Tucker, and the breaking ball misses the outside. It's 1-0. Tucker been swinging the bat well of late. A few Pacifics who can claim that. 1-0. He checks his swing, leaves the fastball for a strike, and it's 1-1. Tucker 6 for his last 21, good for a .286 average. Does have a home run in that span. There's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, a high pop-up, foul ground right side. Mosby coming over, into the bullpen he goes. Has plenty of room, drifts backwards, and it falls on the mound. Well, Mosby just overran that one. Tucker will get second life. It'll be 1-2 to him. And Mosby, he's a sure-handed first baseman. And decent at catching those pop-ups, but the wind is not blowing out, so he just overran it. And Tucker with a second chance here. Not often you get those in pro baseball. Adheen works into his windup, and the 1-2, and Tucker swings and lifts it foul right side. And it'll stay 1-2. Tucker trying to get something started for the Pacifics. As Adheen winds and he fires, and Tucker swings and lifts it down the right field line. To his left is Williams, over by the line. Into foul ground he goes. He reaches out and makes the catch just on the line. And there are 2 outs here for Jake Taylor. Taylor hitting .276 this year. He has 10 home runs, second on the team. He has 47 RBIs, which lead the league. And Taylor has led the league in runs batted in since day one. Really.
Third baseman, number 8, Jake Taylor.
Into the windup, Adheen. First pitch to Taylor on the way, and a breaking ball misses the outside. It's 1-0. 1-0 Admirals lead, 2 outs, last of the first inning. As Adheen to the plate. And another breaking ball off the outside again. 2 balls and no strikes. Working quickly Adheen. Here's the 2-0. And Taylor swings and lifts one down the right field line. And into his left is Williams. On the move, he dives and he makes the catch. What a play by Tim Williams as he went into foul ground. And he is not getting up quickly. He went down hard after that catch. Looks as if he'll be okay, though. So, a couple of nice plays defensively. Williams with the exclamation mark there to end things at a 1-2-3 inning for Brent Adheen. We'll head bottom or top 2, and it is 1-0 Vallejo. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Bautista, Mosby, and Figueroa will lead off against Brandon Warner. It's a 1-0 Admirals lead here, and Warner will try and settle in after his defense let him down somewhat in that first. Bautista from the right side. There's Warner from the belt, first pitch to him, and a fastball, outside corner strike, 0-1. Bautista, he's hitting .295, 3 home runs, and 31 RBIs. As Warner is set at the belt, and here's the 1-strike pitch. And another fastball just off the inside corner that time. It's 1-1. Warner working quickly from the stretch, base is empty. Third base side of the hill. 1-1. High and tight with the heater. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now the good thing is that the bullpen is fresh for San Rafael, thanks to 2 consecutive complete games by Pat Barnett and Pat Conroy. And it's the 2-1. Has swung on and 1 hopper to third. Taylor chests it up, and it don't look like it got him pretty good. Bautista's going to be safe at first, and Taylor took that high hop, and that may either got him on the chest or maybe even come up and got him on the neck. Matt Cavanaugh and Nick DeBar will head out. The Pacific's training staff, Jesse Mazza, is not far behind. You got to hope that Taylor's all right. Ormseth is already down. A high hop just got Taylor now, and all we can do is hope for Jake right now. Well, Bautista scorched that one off the bat. Got there on 1 hop. And came right up and either may have gotten Taylor on the neck potentially. He went down immediately afterwards. May have also knocked the wind out of him, but Taylor's a pretty critical part of this Pacific's team. You can only hope that he's okay right now. Looks like he's able to get up under his own power. And while he's being examined, we will take a look at the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard. And they are in the last of the 6th inning over in Sonoma. The Diamonds holding a 2-1 lead over the Sonoma Stompers. That's a game that is coming off again. 13-1 victory for Sonoma yesterday. Not a close game, but tonight Dylan Brammer, the staff ace for Pittsburgh, is towing the rubber against Gregory Paulino, who's been one of the better pitchers for the Stompers this season and was their staff ace last year. So that should be an interesting game, and we will keep our eyes on that one as the night does progress. Taylor still being attended to over at third base. He's got a drink of water, I believe, being tested for a concussion maybe right now. That ball may have even come up and got him on the face. I thought from here it got him on the chest, but the Pacific's just having the worst luck right now in terms of injury. It's a 1-0 Admirals lead here in the top of the 2nd inning. Bautista, the leadoff man, is going to reach on an infield single, and Taylor looked like he had a beat on that one until it came up and got him. And Matt Cavanaugh has departed the area, as says Nick DeBar, and Jesse Mazza will as well. So it appears that Jake Taylor is okay, and he'll get a nice ovation. Well, Taylor showing a lot of grit to be able to stay out there, and the Pacific's not having the best of luck in terms of injury tonight. They're very fortunate that Taylor is okay and is able to stay in. So now Lydell Mosby, who has been red hot of late. Lydell is up to 272. He has 3 homers and 25 RBIs. He's 6 for his last 13. Hitting .462 over the last calendar week. Has also drawn 11 walks over the span. Is a double play candidate if you can get him to hit a ground ball right now. And he takes a fastball that misses below the zone from Warner. It is a 1-0 count. Mosby slightly opened the stance, and lanky from the right side. Warner at the belt, the 1-0, and a fastball there on the inside at the belt for a strike, and it's 1-1. Now Bautista has attempted to steal 4 times this year, has not been successful yet. He's held on by McClellan at first. As the 1-1, and a curveball misses high from Warner. 2 balls and 1 strike. He has not gotten that big 12-6 loopy curve into the zone as of yet. We'll see if he can make that adjustment as we move forward. 2-1. Warner coming set again, and he deals, and a fastball just off the inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Well, Warner close to the zone there. Working quickly. Good hitters count for Mosby. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing, leaves the fastball on the outside. And the count will be full to Mosby. He checks back with Eric Thompson to make sure of the call. A big time 3-1 pitch from Warner put it at a spot where Mosby couldn't do anything with it. So it's 3-2. Bautista out to the edge of the grass. Here's the pitch, and that is low and away. Tried the splitter, and Mosby does eventually draw the walk, and the Admirals set up here in the second inning. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Kyle Figueroa.
Now batting for Vallejo, catcher, number 16.
Well, the Admirals are a team that is red hot of late. They've won 7 of their last 8. They were on a 7-game winning streak until yesterday, where Barnett shut them down. Warner working from the stretch. His first pitch to Figueroa, who squares the bunt, gets it down to third base side. Taylor comes in, fields, throws across, and Tucker can't get there. It was wide anyway. That'll sail into the bullpen. 1 run is going to score. Mosby's held up at third. Another error from the Pacifics, has 2 on the night. And they fall behind 2-0 here in the second inning. It'll go down as a sacrifice bunt and an E5. And that allows the runners to score and then advance to third and second respectively.
Batting 9th for the Admirals.
And the defensive woes, which had been gone for the better part of the last 3 games, returned in force here today. 2 errors have caused 2 runs. Now the Admirals with runners in scoring position and nobody out still for Ali and Silva. Warner will have to pitch for the strikeout now. His first pitch to Silva, and a big curveball. That one's a strike on the inside, and it is 0-1.
At the new and improved Kirby Cove. Be sure you have a parent or a legal guardian sign a participation waiver. Kirby Cove is now open.
Silva is a good season at the plate, 269. Another curveball swung on, grounded, just past the diving McClellan at first. Tucker over to field, throws to the covering Warner just in time. And there is 1 away here in the second inning. But another run across for the Admirals, and now they lead 3-0. Here in the second to third, we'll go Figueroa on the play.
Now batting for the Admirals, shortstop, Gadiel Baez.
And give Warner a lot of credit. Even to get over there and make that play was tough because he was on the move, and McClellan had a decent shot at it. Now 1 out. Top of the order, Gadiel Baez. Baez doubled and then scored in the first on the first error of the ball game for the Pacifics. Warner at the belt, first pitch to Baez, and a fastball on the outside for a strike, and it's 0-1. Switch hitter is Baez. He hits from the left side here. Warner still looking for his second out of this second inning. Warner from the belt. Here's the 0-1. And Baez swings, lifts it out into shallow right. And Figueroa is going to try and tag. Hova makes the catch. Here comes the throw, and Figueroa will put on the brakes as Hova delivers a strong one and on line. So fly out to right, unproductive from Baez. Now 2 away for Darian Sanford. So both runs in this second inning will go down as unearned, and anything else that scores will be unearned as well because of that throwing error and the fact that there are 2 outs now. And to bring up Sanford, who reached on the first error of the ball game, a grounder right through the wickets of Tucker, and scored Baez. Sanford would steal second, but would be stranded there. Warner from the belt, first pitch to Sanford, and he chases a fastball, chops it down the first base line, and in fact off of his foot. So it's 0-1. Sanford, switch hitter, will bat left. And as always, chokes up far on the bat, good 2-3 inches. Not trying to drive the ball is Sanford, more so trying to put it in the right spot in the infield or right over the heads of the infielders between the outfielders. Though Bikakis very shallow in left, Pace and Hova a couple of steps in center and right respectively. 0-1. And Sanford, a running start, grounds it softly to short. Gonzalez throws on the run. It's not in time. Coming in to score is Figueroa. And the Admirals with a 4-0 lead. A dinker infield single from Darian Sanford. And that's what he does best. Uses his legs to run it out. And now the Admirals have put up a 3 spot here in the second. None of them have been earned.
Now batting for Vallejo.
And now P.J. Phillips.
P.J. Phillips.
Phillips, 0 for 1, flew out to the wall and right last time. Sanford away from first, held on by McClellan. First pitch from Warner and a fastball taken all the way by Phillips. And it's a strike, 0-1. 2 outs, top of the second inning. Admirals have taken early advantage here of Big Pacific's defensive mistakes. 0-1. Warner at the belt. Sanford fakes and the fastball taken for a strike on the outside. And it's an 0-2 count. I think Darian Sanford can't get solid footing out there. It's the 4th time he's thought about stealing and then thought better of it tonight. 0-2. Phillips choked up on the bat, and Warner will step off. Infield played back for Phillips. Does have power. Warner at the belt. And here's the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and popped foul right side. It'll get out of play. Still no balls and 2 strikes to P.J. Phillips here. Right-handed batting Joe Hicks would be next. 7 men have come to the plate here in the second inning. Leadoff infield single by Bautista. Smoked it on 1 hop off of Taylor on the high chest. And then Mosby walked on the sacrifice bunt. Taylor threw it away. That scored 1 run, and then Silva brought home another on a ground out as a breaking ball misses low and away to Phillips, and it's 1-2. And Sanford's infield single brought home the 3rd run of this frame. And now the Pacifics will find themselves in an interesting situation. The offense has not been good lately. And find themselves in an early hole. 1-2, Sanford goes. The pitch is cut on and fouled back and out again. And 1-2, it'll stay to P.J. Phillips. Figures to be another chilly night here at Albert Park. Wind, which was idle at first pitch, starting to blow in. 1-2, breaking ball taken high, throw down to second as Sanford goes, and he's going to be safe again. Second stolen base of the game for Darian Sanford. In head first. Now 47 on the year. He's in scoring position with a 2-2 count to Phillips. And with 2 outs, Warner can focus on bearing down on the hitter. The significance of that 90 feet, though, is that Sanford, with his speed, can easily score on any single that Phillips might hit now. 2-2, and Warner to the plate. Curveball, and just misses somewhere off the outside, maybe high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Close pitch from Brandon Warner, though. You do have first base open, and you have Hicks, who struck out swinging in the first inning, on deck. Warner at the belt, 3-2. Here it is. Fastball swung on, a high pop-up, carrying into medium center, back on at his pace, settling underneath. Now a late drift to his left, but he makes the one-handed catch. And the side is out here in the second inning. Now 3 runs on 2 hits, a critical error for Santa Fe, and the Admirals strand 1 more. Through 1.5, it is 4-0 Vallejo. You're listening to the Santa Fe Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Inning. It's a 4-0 lead for the Admirals. Hova, Gimiani, and Gonzalez will lead off for the Pacifics. Vinny Longo now happy to be joined by former Major League All-Star Dave Dravecki here in the Northgate Acoustics broadcast booth. Dave, thank you so much for joining us today as Hova takes the breaking ball low.
It's a pleasure, Vinny. I can't wait to talk to you, buddy.
Adheen works into his windup. Here's the 1-0. And Hova takes another curveball. That one misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. And I must say, really enjoyed the your address of the stadium prior to today's game. Thank you so much for coming out and doing that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it, and appreciate Mike actually bringing me out to do this. It's been really good.
2 balls, 1 strike as Adheen into his windup. Here it is, and Hova takes that one for a strike, and it'll be 2-2. You and Mike, I believe, have an interesting story of how you met. And back when Mike was with the Giants, 2-2, and Hova swings a grounder down the third base line. Bautista on the backhand. Settles, throws across. Mosby picks it out. Well, doing the splits. Nice play all the way around, and there's one away in the second.
Yeah, that was a sweet play. Yeah, we go, you know, it's really interesting. I actually didn't know that story until he told it today. So it's really cool how we actually ended up meeting. And then obviously when I was with the Giants, you know, knowing that he was there, and that time in Montreal when I was, you know, when I pitched and broke my arm, and he was present at that game. First pitch to Garrett Gimbiani, right there for a strike, 0-1. Gimbiani from the right side, he's hitting .357 through 5 games of action. As Adheen working quickly, the 0-1. And a breaking ball misses outside. 1-1 the count. And I think I'd like to talk about your journey a little bit, specifically starting in the minor leagues. Never easy. What were some of the stops you went on along the way? Oh, geez. Well, I played in Charleston, South Carolina. That was my home base. And then from there, you know, we traveled to Spartanburg, Greenville. We did the circuit in the South, and it was hot. And it was a ton of fun. Boy. As Gimbiani skies it deep into center, higher, I think, than it even traveled. But a high fly ball out. There are 2 outs here in the second for Gonzalez. Golly, he just missed that. Yeah. So, you know, traveling in the minor leagues was a lot of fun for me. You know, I was a kid from Youngstown, Ohio, and quite frankly, this was such a wonderful experience and a dream that I'd had. So I looked forward to bus rides. I had no complaints about getting on a bus and going to a new city and going places I'd never been before. So I was having a wonderful time doing something I love so much. First pitch to Daniel Gonzalez is there for a strike with the fastball. It is 0-1. Did you have a favorite spot when you were in the minor leagues? I played in Hawaii. I mean, that's, if, you know, I don't think you can compare much of the minor leagues to being in Hawaii for 6 weeks. That was an amazing experience, and just had a wonderful time there. 1-1 count, and Gonzalez takes a fastball for a strike, and it's 1-2. And when you got the call that you were brought up to the major leagues, can you take us through what that experience was like? Yeah, you know, it was really interesting because I got a call from the farm director congratulating us on the birth of our daughter, Tiffany. Gonzalez, a one-hop chopper to third. Bautista's up with it, will throw out Gonzalez, and the side is out here in the second inning. We'll keep it here for the break. So after they had congratulated us on the birth of our daughter, all of a sudden, almost in the same breath, he said, "Dave, you're going to the big leagues." And I actually said, "Bob, are you serious?" He said, "Yes, you're going to the big leagues." I said, "Come on, he's a jokester, a prankster." So I said, "You're not messing with me, are you?" He said, "Dave, do you want me to call somebody else?" And I said, no, I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go. So ended up getting to the big leagues, getting to San Diego, and 6 days later my wife came with our newborn, which was a very difficult experience for her. But we got there to San Diego, and I've got to tell you, it was just overwhelming. To be quite honest with you, everybody that came to the plate that I faced was Babe Ruth, and I couldn't get anybody out. So I was really concerned that I might end up back in the minor leagues, but fortunately I was able to turn around in the first couple weeks and started getting guys out and just trusting my stuff. And I learned that, you know, the Padres wanted me. They didn't want somebody else. So when I first got there, I was trying to be the best Sandy Koufax that I could be. Right. And one night, my wife encouraged me. She said, "Look, I know you're struggling. Why don't you just go out there and be the best you? And if that isn't good enough for them, I'm okay with it." And that night, I went out and I just tried to be the best me, and it worked. I actually got guys out, which was a surprise for me at that point, and just ended up from that point on having a wonderful experience with it. So, yeah, that first call and those first few weeks were amazing. I can imagine it's quite an adjustment going up from the minor leagues and then going up to the majors, and then it's always interesting because I look at some sports, there are sports like basketball and football where you can get drafted out of college, all of a sudden you're an impact player. In baseball, not quite so much. No, you got to earn your stripes, man, and you earn it down in the minor leagues. First pitch to Joe Hicks, fastball for a strike, 0-1, 4-0 Admirals lead.
here in the top of the third inning. Now, in your time with the Giants, or really with any Major League organization, what are some of the memories that stick out to you as some of your favorite?
Well, you know, I think anytime a ball club gets into postseason play, there's always some wonderful highlights there. Pitching in the postseason against the Cardinals in '87 and throwing a 2-hit shutout in Game 2, and then losing 1-0 to John Tudor in Game 6. I mean, I was riding high after that. You know, getting to the World Series in '89, and you know, for me, that was really special.
Grounder up the middle from Hicks. A high hop on Gonzalez gets just through. That may have caught a piece of Daniel on the way out. Looks to be okay, though. Another tricky hop for the Pacific's infield. I think I may have caught Gonzalez on the jaw. Looks to be okay. But a single for Joe Hicks, and the Admirals, for the third consecutive inning, had a lead-off runner aboard.
You know, the '89 World Series, even though I didn't get a chance to participate, I look back on that year, and I'd like to think, since we won the division by 2 games and I was 2-0 that year, and that I did have some impact on what happened that season. But it was just great being a part of, in that organization, being a part of that family, and being a part of the chemistry of the Giants organization was just amazing.
Williams squares to bunt early. He pulls and takes a splitter for a strike from Warner. And it's 0-1. And what has it meant to you that over the years the Giants have continued to have you be a part of their organization?
Yeah, it's been overwhelming. You know, I've been there now for 5 years, and I work as a community ambassador, and I've had more fun than I ever dreamed of having. Getting to meet fans, getting to spend time with fans, being a part of what the Giants organization is about, and reaching out into the community. Doing all the wonderful things that they do in association with other nonprofits. It's a first-class organization, but even more important than that, it really does feel like we're a part of a family, and I'm a part of that family. So it's been a wonderful experience, and man, I bleed orange and black. That's all I can say.
Well, you are wearing a very nice orange polo today, I will say, and as it's a 1-2 count to Tim Williams here. Warner trying to work around the leadoff single. Hicks away from first, Warner to the plate. Swung on, chopped up the middle, softly hit. Gonzalez will field and get the sure out at first. A close play with Williams' speed, but Gonzalez does get him. Hicks to second. And there's one away here in the third inning. Now, you did have some time to spend with the Pacifics prior to the game. What was that experience like for you, coming back to a minor league team and addressing them again?
Yeah, it was nostalgic. You know, it brought me back, you know, being in that little clubhouse, and it just brought me back to those early days of my own career, and watching where these guys are at. The memories just flooded over me as I was sharing a few thoughts with them, and it was just a great experience. You know, you look into the eyes of these kids, and they're kids, and you remember when you were that age, and you remember the dreams that you had and the hopes that you had, you know, to get to the big leagues, and it was just a great experience for me. It was a real privilege to be able to spend some time with them.
0-1 fastball misses high to Gerald Bautista. It's 1-1. Bautista's single in the second inning. He started that 3-run barrage from the Admirals. Errors have been a big part of the story already. 2 committed by the Pacifics in the first 2+ innings of play. 1-1. Here's Warner. Swung on, grounded sharply up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Hicks is going to be waved around third. He'll score without a throw. So Bautista with an RBI single, and Vallejo with a 5-0 lead here in the third inning. And more on the baseball side of things. Interesting situation today, Dave, where the Pacifics had their starting pitcher ready to come off the DL, and then last second injury to him, and Brandon Warner had to get warming up at the last second. Now, what kind of difficulties does that prove for you if you're in Brandon Warner's spot? What kind of difficulties do you have as a pitcher?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I mean, I feel for Brandon because all of a sudden, I mean, you know, when you're in your rotation and you know you're going to be starting, there's a routine that you go through, and you're prepping for that. And all of a sudden, you have your guy that's going to be starting go down with an injury, and the next thing you know, coach is coming to you and saying you're on the bump. And it's like, oh man, I got to get it in gear. And so it's hard. It's hard to make that adjustment. It's not as easy as people would think. You just grab the ball and go throw it. No, there's so much more to it than that. And so, actually, quite frankly, I think he's doing a really good job.
Slow chopper over at short. Gonzalez charging in, makes a nice play, throwing to first on the run. Another nice play by Daniel Gonzalez here in the third inning. And there are 2 away for Kyle Figueroa. Now, you obviously spend plenty of time with the Giants. You, in fact, as I understand it, just went with them to New York and Boston on that recent interleague East Coast trip. What are some of the differences you would say between this level of play and the major league level?
Oh, I think so much of it is just consistency. I do think that, you know, when you look at guys like Brandon Crawford, Joey Panic, these guys are really talented around the bag. Their range is incredible. They understand the speed of the game. I think the difference between a place like this and the big leagues is all about speed. I mean, we see some incredible speed on the base paths here tonight. Amazing speed. And you're getting that all the time up there. You know, and so being able to make those plays consistently over and over again, hitting your spots consistently over and over again. It's not about how hard a guy throws. It's the consistency and the ability to play from the shoulder up. You know, so much of the game is played up here in the head. And, you know, that's, I think, a big difference between this level, and playing in the big leagues.
Interesting. And then ahead, that was the end of the third inning, and 3 groundouts to Gonzalez in the frame. The Admirals with a run on 2 hits. They leave 1, so through 2.5. It is a 5-0 Admirals lead. And Dave, and another question kind of back to just the atmosphere. Now, as I understand it, you have transitioned your career from baseball player to motivational speaker now.
Yeah.
What has that transition been like for you?
You know, it's been... That's a good question, Vinny. You know, it's been a wonderful transition. It hasn't been easy because I had no training in speaking. You know, I basically have watched a lot of people, listened well, and have learned some things along the way that I've picked up. I've got a great coach in my wife. She's a huge encouragement with my story, and so that's been a huge help. But I can't picture myself doing anything else than what I'm doing right now. I love it so much. As a matter of fact, my father keeps wondering when I'm going to grow up and get a real job, but I'm 60 years old now. So when he says that, that's a good thing, you know, because I really am having fun doing what I'm doing, traveling around the country, sharing my story, and then working for the Giants. What a gift that is. And, you know, to be an ambassador and represent this ball club all over the Bay Area has just been a real privilege. And then my wife and I have a nonprofit that encourages cancer patients and amputees and folks going through depression, and we've been doing that for 25 years. And we send our story out as a gift, our books, to encourage them as a gift. And we do about 400 families, 500 families a year. So it's been amazing. It's been amazing. It really has. It's been a good life. Yeah, and I never knew, if you'd have told me I'd have been doing this when all this happened, I'd have told you you were crazy.
Mike McClellan swings over the top of a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1 as we begin the last of the third inning. 4-0 Vallejo's in the lead. The Pacific still searching for their first base runner. There's Adheen into his windup and the 0-1. McClellan swings a sharp grounder up the middle, and there is the first base runner. A base hit for Mike McClellan. And now Ricky Gingras will come up. Well, McClellan has been hitting the ball hard just right at guys. Now 4 for his last 15. The Pacifics as a team over the last week hitting just .208. And the team ERA has been 2.15, so the pitching staff has been doing well, but the offense has been scuffling as well. So on a night like tonight, this is going to be a challenging evening.
You know, one of the things I love about the Giants is these guys are always talking about picking each other up. You know, that's what you got to do. You know, you come out in a game like tonight, you got a man on first base, you just got to keep moving the runners, advancing the runners, create environments for things to happen, and then good things will happen.
Gingras from the left side. He's hitting .261, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. Adheen at the chest. He'll check over to first. McClellan back head first, somewhat awkwardly. Now Adheen toes with what I like to call the Bach line. For a left-handed pitch, you get, what, 45 degrees, right?
Yes, he did. He certainly did on that pitch.
Now, how did your the community ambassador, how did that come about with the Giants? Did you reach out to them? Did they reach out to you?
I actually reached out to them, but it was a kind of a mutual thing. It was a mutual thing with my boss, Mario Alioto, with the Giants, and Larry Bear and Mario are really big into remembering the past and working with the alums. So there's a lot of alum around the ballpark, a lot, because they see the significance of the past having an impact on the present that ultimately will impact the future. And what it is it's a generational story of the Giants. And so they connect those dots from the past to the present to the future. And it's just been a beautiful thing to be a part of that, and for them to have the desire to want to bring me on. It was just an incredible gift to my wife and I and our family. It's been really cool. We moved back out. We were living in Colorado, moved back out to the Bay Area, and are just loving it. You know, we call home Turlock, California, in the Central Valley, and I'm only about an hour and 45-minute drive into the ballpark, and I get to go to about 20 games a year, so it's a ton of fun, and I'm just enjoying it so much.
Activity for the Pacifics down to the bullpen. Looks as if Michael Kirshner has started to warm. And the good thing for the Pacifics, the bullpen is fresh after 2 consecutive complete games. 1-1, and Gingras takes a fastball for a strike on the outside. And it is a 1-2 count. How has the game of baseball changed, do you think, since you were playing and now as we look at the modern game?
Well, you know what, I think some things have changed, other things haven't changed. I mean, the game is still the game. You know, you got to run, you got to hit, you got to throw, you got to catch.
Broken back grounder up the middle. Baez fields, steps on the bag 1, over to first 2. And no, they're calling McClellan safe at second. Now they're going to throw over, and by the tag of Silva, McClellan is out. Well, that was confusing. I guess Baez didn't step on the base cleanly. So that'll go, what, 6-3-4. The double play with the first out being recorded at first. See something new every time you come out to the ballpark, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway, you were saying about how the game, some parts of the game are the same, but then the other parts that are different.
Yeah, the kids are bigger, faster, stronger. It's amazing. But then again, they have access to so much more in relationship to you know, their physical abilities and their speed and strength, and you know, and so because of that, you see the dynamic of the game change a little bit. You know, it's fine. It's a fine line in relationship to the amount of change, but you know, guys obviously are throwing harder.
First pitch to Bukakis. He swings and pops it foul back behind the plate. Figueroa can't find it. And it is an 0-1 count.
Yeah, I mean, kids are throwing 100 plus. I was like, come on. I wouldn't have dreamt in a million years that I could throw that hard. I mean, I threw 88 mile an hour top end. Guys would look at me and say, that's a great changeup, Dave.
If you know a Syndergaard, not even the slider.
Yeah, I know. Really, it's just nuts.
Ball on a strike to Bukakis. He swings and pops it foul right side. That'll get out of play as well.
And there's so many of them. I think that's the interesting thing, is so many guys are throwing so much harder. And quite frankly, I think science has provided an awful lot for these guys to develop strength-wise. But in some respects, it's been a detriment, because now I don't know if their bodies are capable of handling it.
1-2 the count. Here's Adheen, and Bukakis swings the line drive right at Mosby. Oh, the side is out here in the third inning. Well, Dave Dravecky, thank you so much for joining us here today. Really appreciate you coming out to the ballpark.
Yeah, my pleasure, Vinny. Great talking with you.
All right, so we are at the end of 3, a 5-0 Admirals lead. You're listening to the Centerfeld Pacifics here on the Pacifics Radio Network. 5 runs, although only 1 will be earned. He walks 1 and strikes out 1. So the errors plagued Warner tonight, as they have it many times this year. Now Silva will lead off. Kirshner throws hard, but at times will struggle with the command. 18 appearances this year for Kirshner. He's 0-3 with a 7.78 ERA, 15 strikeouts to 20 walks, and 17 1/3. Taylor will play on the grass for Silva as Kirshner fires, and the fastball misses in the dirt. It's 1-0. Kirshner's fastball low to mid-90s, and he pairs it with a slider. Although that slider most effective when the fastball there for a strike, And when he does throw strikes, one of the more difficult pitchers in the league to hit. 1-0, Kirshner at the belt, and here's the pitch. And the fastball misses low again, 2 balls and no strikes. Silva, then Baez and Sanford with a 5-0 lead for Vallejo here in the top of the 4th inning. Kirshner working from the stretch, first base side of the rubber. And here's the 2-0. Misses high with the fastball, 3 balls, no strikes. Silva can move. If you put him on base, you risk having good speed on the base pass to the top of the order. Silva's 0 for 1, although he did ground home a run back in the 2nd inning. The bulk of the Admirals' damage came in the 2nd, and they scored 3. Kirshner at the belt, 3-0. Upstairs with the fastball and not close. So a 4-pitch walk to start the at-bat to Ali and Silva. And now Gadiel Baez. And for the Pacifics, you're hoping for some length from Michael Kirshner right now. You want him to at least get through the 5th or 6th inning, set it up so you can get Monzo and Escobar maybe to finish out the rest of the game. Nate Gherkin also should be available out of the bullpen, activated last Saturday from the disabled list. Baez, 1 for 2, fly out to right in the 2nd, doubled and scored in the 1st. Fastball from Kirshner on the outside corner for a strike, and it is 0-1. Baez, the switch hitter from the left side. Silva held on by McClellan at first. And Silva has stolen once in 4 tries. He goes, and the pitch is swung on and skied out to right. Hova gliding to his left underneath it. He's going to make the catch. Silva will retreat to first. So an unproductive first down from Gadiel Baez. May have been a hit and run. Well, there's 1 out for Darian Sanford. And now Gingras will head out to the mound and talk things over with Kirshner. Baez got the fastball. It was down the heart of the plate, but Kirshner's ball has a lot of late movement on it. So if he doesn't leave it down the middle, he ends up missing a lot of barrels most of the time. Sanford, who is 1 for 2, an error in the 1st inning, and a single to score a run in the 2nd. The error brought home a run as well. And with Sanford's speed, you're not going to be able to double him up often. Has hit in to no double plays this year. And it makes sense. From the left side, Taylor creeping in at 3rd. First pitch from Kirshner, and he takes a fastball low and away. And it's 1-0. With Sanford's speed, his willingness to take the 4-pitch walk, and Kirshner's struggle of command at times, be surprised to see Sanford swing at the first strike in this at-bat. 1-0, here's Kirshner, and he swings a sharp grounder at 2nd. Tucker will flip to 2nd 1. That's all they will get as Sanford nearly on the bag at first before Gonzalez could throw. But now 2 outs, the lead runner retired, and P.J. Phillips will stand in. Phillips, who was 0 for 2 today, fly out to right, went deep and a fly out to center, and that ended the 2nd inning.
Now batting for Vallejo, number 12, P.J. Phillips.
Phillips from the right side, a lot of power, so Kirshner will want to deal carefully. He's been facing P.J. for a couple of years now. Sanford out past the lip of the grass at first, and a fastball misses high. It's 1-0. Darian has already stolen twice today, although with a 5-run lead, very well may not be going again. 1 ball and no strikes. Kirshner set at the belt. Sanford fakes, and Phillips swings. He lifts one out into right field, coming on is Hova. Pulling up in shallow right, he makes the catch. And the side is out here in the 4th inning for the first time today. The Admirals are held scoreless. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left for Vallejo. Middle of 4, 5-0 Admirals lead. You're listening to the Centerfeld Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. It is a 5-0 Admirals lead. Vinny Longo with you. Happy to have you with us from the Northgate Acoustics broadcast booth. Pace from the left side as Adheen winds and fires, and a breaking ball there on the outside corner for a strike. And it is 0-1. Pace grounded out to second back in the first inning. As Adheen into his windup, here's the 0-1. And a fastball misses high and tight. And they count 1-1 to Pace now. Well, Brent Adheen has been good through his first time through the order, just one hit, and he has faced the minimum. As Adheen will settle into the windup, here's the 1-1 pitch. And a breaking ball inside hits Pace on the arm. So Pace becomes the second base runner for the Pacifics tonight. And now Chase Tucker will come up. And Adheen has yet to strike out or walk a batter, although the hit batsman will become his first free pass of the day. Although that is a rather uncommon occurrence for Adheen. He will struggle with command at times. And again, coming into today, he had walked 11 men in 12 1/3 innings. So good sign from him that the first time through the order he was able to get through relatively unscathed. Tucker flew out to right in the first inning, 0 for 1. Takes a breaking ball that misses in the dirt. It's a 1-0 count. Right-handed batter Tucker. We'll try and get something going for the Pacifics here in the fourth inning. 1-0. And Adheen to the plate, and Tucker takes a fastball, missing low and in. 2 balls, no strikes. And at this point in the ball game, down 5. Still plenty of ball game left, though. You're just looking for base runners if you are San Rafael. They have come back from bigger deficits than this, even against this same team. 2-0, and that's inside with the fastball. Nearly hit Chase. 3 balls and no strikes. Two errors for the Pacifics in the first 2 innings, and big part of the Admirals' score. 4 of their runs went unearned. On the record of Brandon Warner, the spot starter. 3-0, and Tucker takes high, ball 4. So a hit batsman and then a walk. And the wildness starting to show itself for Brent Adheen. 2 on now for Jake Taylor with nobody out. It's a good chance for the Pacifics. And we'll see what Jake Taylor is able to do. This is the first time that he has been to the plate ever since taking that hot shot off the bat of Bautista off of the upper chest. Taylor does have power. Adheen from the belt, first pitch on the way, and Taylor takes a fastball. And given the strike up in the zone, it's 0-1. Taylor was robbed of a hit by a diving Tim Williams to end the first inning. And Williams came down the line in order to make the play. 0-1. Adheen at the chest, here's the pitch. And the slider misses high and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-handing batting, Michael Hova would be next. Runners in scoring position has been an issue for the Pacifics over the last 7 games. Adheen to the plate 1-1, and Taylor takes the fastball off the plate inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Overall, the Pacifics just 13 for their last 55 with runners at second or third base. That's good for 236 average. 2-1, and Taylor swings. High drive, deep left field. Way back there, it is gone. Jake Taylor puts one on to Anderson Drive, a 3-run home run, number 11 on the season. And the Pacifics are right back in this ball game. It is 5-3 here in the 4th inning.
On the year, home run number 11 for Jake Taylor.
And a no-doubter off the bat from Jake Taylor, and he needed that, as did the Pacifics offense. That is the first extra base hit the Pacifics have had with runners in scoring position for the last week. And a big-time swing from Taylor. Now Hova up. Takes a fastball high and away. It's 1-0. And Adheen fell into a good hitter's count through the fastball, and Taylor was all over it. One of the longer home runs we've seen hit this year. Clear the trees beyond the wall in left field. 1-0. And Hova swings and fouls it back. Looked like he was trying to match Taylor's swing of the bat. And then it's 1-1. And if Jake Taylor can start to come alive as he did at the tail end of the 2015 season, That would be huge for the Pacifics and this offense. 1-1, here's Adheen. And Hova swings a line drive down the left field line. A fair ball and hooking toward the corner. Hova rounding first, he's headed for two. Over into the corner is Hicks to dig it out. Hova will glide into second with a stand-up double. And now just like that, the tying run will come to the plate, represented by Garrett Gimiani. Boy, two sharply hit balls. The long home run from Taylor. And then the line drive double down the line. And now, not only the Pacifics within two, the tying run is at the plate. And with the way things had gone for the Pacifics over the first couple of innings, you wouldn't have expected it to happen this soon. Gimiani's 0 for 1, just missed a fastball in the second inning, flew out to center. Fastball misses high to him, it's 1-0. Just a matter of time before Gimiani gets his first professional home run. He's been barreling up balls all over the place. On a lot of line drive singles, one triple off the wall and right the other night. That's the 1-0, here it is. And the fastball misses high, 2 balls, no strikes. Hova away from second, not a threat to steal. Good hitters count to Gimiani. Adheen delivers and a fastball popped up, foul ground behind the plate. Figueroa coming over. And that one will fall out of play. It's 2-1. Adheen in his first trouble of the night. Walked or hit pitch to begin the inning, and then walked Tucker before the homer. Now has another runner in scoring position. 2-1. Here's Adheen. And Gimiani takes a fastball and just misses low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Another good hitter's count. And this is where not having good command can put you in a difficult situation once in a while. Fall into a lot of hitters' counts. Now you have to come into them. Here's Adheen. And Gimiani swings a high fly ball, medium center. Sanford moving back on it now, shy of the warning track. He makes the catch. Hova will fake the tag from third to draw the throw. And another fly ball that Gimiani just did miss. It'll bring up Daniel Gonzalez.
Shortstop, Daniel Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is 0 for 1, a ground out to third in his last at-bat. Right-handed batter who will try at minimum to get Hova over to third. And Gonzalez does have one of the better opposite field approaches on the team. And that's good news for the Pacifics, although Gonzalez has been dealing with a sore wrist since he was plunked there by Sean Conroy better than a week ago. Finally today, it's starting to straighten out for him. Is Adheen at the chest, first pitch. Gonzalez takes the fastball up and out of the zone. It's 1-0. 3 runs on 2 hits for the Pacifics here in the 4th inning. Is Adheen at the chest. Here's the 1-0. And a fastball given a strike at the letters. A ball and a strike to Gonzalez here. Hova leads from second. Adheen, a look back. Here's the 1-1. Inside with the fastball, and that nearly got him on the foot. In fact, it did get him on the foot. And the second hit batsman of the inning for Brent Adheen. And now the tying run is on base for another man with power, Mike McClellan. And that'll bring Roman Gomez out to the mound, who, coming off a fantastic start last night, will try and settle down his pitcher here in the 4th inning. And Adheen, who had cruised through the first 3 frames.
All right, fans, it's time for the California Film Institute Baseball Movie Trivia Contest. Be the first person with the correct answer, and you win 2 tickets.
Is struggling here in the 4th. The hit batsman in the walk and the towering home run, and that may have gotten into him. The double to Hova certainly didn't help things. Then Gimiani did not miss that fastball by much at all. And again, despite the fact that ball traveled a good 360, 370 feet, I still think it traveled more vertically than it did in terms of total distance. I mean, he got way under that one and still almost put it out of here. I think on a better night with the wind that was blowing out, and Gimiani might have had a home run, but now McClellan. McClellan, a sharp single in his first trip, one of just 3 hits for the Pacifics today, but thus far they've been able to make one of them count, hoping to make Hova's double count as well. McClellan from the right side in open stance. And the hands out in front of the chest. First pitch from Adheen, and McClellan takes a breaking ball off the outside. 1-0. 1 out, last of the fourth. 5-3 Admirals lead. Adheen to the plate. And off the inside with the fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. And once again, Brent Adheen is falling into a good hitter's count. 2-0. McClellan swings a high fly ball, medium right field. Williams settling under it to his left. Now has to come in with a win, but he'll make the one-handed catch. And there are 2 outs for Ricky Gingras. And it looked like maybe Gimiani and McClellan, after seeing Taylor blast one out of here, might have been trying to duplicate the effort. In the last couple of games, the wind has been blowing straight in and has robbed the Pacifics of a good 6 or 7 home runs. So to see one finally leave the ballpark had to be comforting for San Rafael, but the power in this lineup has been quiet for the better part of the last couple of weeks. Gingras, who grounded out to short back in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. Left-handed batter with power. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up third base side. Bautista giving it a look, and it's well out of play. No one won the count. Hova at second, Gonzalez at first. Gonzalez moves the better of the 2. No balls on a strike, 2 away. Adheen, a look at second. Here's the pitch. Gingras swings and taps it foul. Way out in front of the breaking ball, and Adheen, despite giving up 2 extra base hits, walking a man and hitting 2 in the 4th inning, and he's just a strike away from getting out of it and still having his team's lead intact. 0-2. Adheen from the chest, a look at second. Here's the 2-strike pitch, and Gingras takes high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Adheen. Now the pitch count of 63 on the night. He'll come set once more. Here's the 1-2. And Gingras takes a slider low and away. A nice block by Figueroa. Keep the runners where they are. And a 2-2 count. Last time against the Pacifics, Adheen, with no decision, going just 4 2/3. That was his Admirals debut. Last outing was stellar against Pittsburgh. 2-2, and Gingras swings and fouls it back in over the grandstand. 2-2 it'll stay. Not on balance with that swing, but able to stay alive. And in that one, Adheen went 7 2/3. 1 run unearned on just 4 hits. Gingras hoping to at least narrow the deficit, if not tie the game. 2-2, and he takes low and away with the breaking ball. It gets away from Figueroa. Hova's going to scoot to third. Gonzalez will move to second. Figueroa slid to his left to try and block it, but Adheen's slider just moved too much. So now a full count on the wild pitch. Both runners for scoring position. And now if Gingras can single here, he'd have a chance to tie the game with 1 swing. 3-2. Adheen is at the chest. And here's the pitch. And Gingras swings a line drive out into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Gonzalez being waved around third. Here comes the throw from Hicks, not nearly in time. Ricky Gingras with a 2 RBI single. And we are tied up at 5 here in the 4th inning.
Can you say new ball game?
Three hits for the Pacifics here in the inning, and a great approach by Ricky Gingras there. He's been scuffling at the plate. In fact, Ricky just 2 for his last 19 coming into that at-bat, but got a fastball on the outer half. Didn't try to do too much with it. Put it over the shortstop's head into shallow left. Gonzalez off the crack of the bat was able to score easily. Bakakis swings to the first pitch. He singles to the left side. Gingras will move to second. Bukakis has his first hit of the night, and the Pacifics have batted around here in the 4th inning. And Zach Pace, who was hit by a 1-1 pitch to start things off, will come up. And nobody is warming for the Admirals out in their bullpen as of yet. Pace, 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, scored on the Taylor blast. Left-handed batter with the go-ahead run represented by Gingras in scoring position. First pitch, and he takes a fastball, missing the outside. It is 1-0. And now with that, Heen's struggling here in the 4th inning. Some stirring out in the Admirals bullpen. Nobody throwing as of yet. 1-0 pitch, and Pace swings a high fly ball, shallow right. Coming in on it is Williams, but it's going to be Silva who calls him off just beyond the infield. So the side is out here in the 4th inning. But 5 runs on 3 hits, highlighted by the Taylor home run. And 2 men left for San Rafael. Well, through 4, we are all tied up at 5. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. For Michael Kirshner, 5-5 tie after the Pacifics just hung 5 runs on the board as a part of that bottom of the 4th inning. Kirshner kept the Admirals off the board for the first time in this ball game in the 4th inning, and now we'll hope to do the same to Hicks, Williams, and Bautista. As Kirshner from the belt, his first pitch to Hicks, and a fastball inside corner strike, and it is 0-1. Hicks 1 for 2, singled and then scored in the 3rd inning. Hicks has run the only one that is charged as an earned run to starter Brandon Warner tonight. 0-1, here's Kirshner. Slider swung on, grounded on one hop, past Gonzalez through the left side. That's a base hit. Gonzalez with a good chance to get there, but Hicks with his 2nd hit of the night. And now he represents the go-ahead run for Tim Williams. As Joe Watson, who has been the closer for the Admirals, but it appears has been demoted as he's up and warming right now. Williams 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out to short. Moves well, tough to double up. First pitch from Kirshner, fastball. Buckles the knees, but it's on the inside for a strike. It's 0-1. And Kirshner was able to strand a runner in the 4th inning as he's set 0-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on a high fly ball, medium left field. Bukakis and Pace coming together, and Pace calls him off on the fringe of the softball diamond in left center field. He makes the one-handed catch. There's one away for Gerald Bautista. Bautista 2 for 2.
Now batting for the Admirals.
A sharp single off of Jake Taylor in the 2nd inning, and then a ground ball up the middle in the 3rd. And that grounder up the middle drove home a run. As Kirshner from the belt, and the fastball misses high to Bautista. It's 1-0. Bautista also scored in the 2nd inning on one of the 2 errors the Pacifics have committed tonight. One in the 1st on the grounder to Tucker. As Kirshner at the belt, here's the pitch. And the fastball misses inside. Bautista dances out of the way. It's 2-0. Then in the 2nd inning, Taylor coming in on a bunt, threw it wide of first. Tucker, who was coming over to field, wasn't there in time. 2-0, a swing and a pop-up, foul ground right side. McClellan coming over, but he will run out of room. And it'll be a 2-1 count. Hicks does move well, but not much of a threat to steal away from first. He has stolen just once, been caught once as well. Also don't want to take the bat out of Bautista's hand, one of your better hitters. 2-1, swing and a miss. Chases the fastball up and out of the zone. And now a 2-2 count. One out, top of the 5th, 5-5 tie. Bautista, open stance from the right side. Kirshner at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on and pop foul, right side. McClellan coming over, has a beat on it. Settling under, and he makes the easy one-handed catch. After the single, a fly out and a foul out, and there are 2 away for Lydell Mosby. And this should be a challenging at-bat for Michael Kirshner. Mosby is red hot right now. He's 0 for 1, walked and scored in the 2nd inning, and then he grounded out to short back in the 3rd.
Now batting for Vallejo, number 38, Lydell Mosby.
Kirshner working from the belt, his first pitch to Mosby, and a fastball just misses low. Very close pitch by Michael Kirshner there. It's 1-0. Kirshner trying to strand the leadoff single. 1-0 the count. Kirshner from the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a strike this time, and it is 1-1. Mosby, lanky in the right-handed batter's box. A slider swung on and missed, chased it down below the zone, and it's 1-2. And that slider, when it's working for Kirshner, difficult pitch to hit. A lot of late biting movement down and out of the zone. Cummings set 1-2, and he deals. Fastball just misses inside. Another close pitch by Michael Kirshner, 2-2. Kirshner working with good pace, though. 2-2 with 2 outs. Here it is. Slider, swing and a miss, strike 3. And the side is out here in the 5th inning. No runs, a hit, 1 man stranded. Another nice frame by Michael Kirshner. So, middle of 5, 5-5 tie. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Clock. It'll last 2 hours and 30 minutes between these two teams, and should be an interesting ball game here at the Yard. So for tickets to come see baseball history at Albert Park this coming Friday, please visit pacificsbaseball.com. Now Tucker, Taylor, and Hova will lead off here in the last of the 5th inning. And the Pacifics just hung a 5 spot on the board in the 4th, and after Kirshner did a great job keeping the Admirals off the board in that 4th or the 5th, they will hope that they can get some more offense here, take their first lead of the ball game. Watson has been warming for the better part of the last half inning, and looks like he's about ready for the Admirals out in their bullpen. Tucker walked in the 4th, later scored on the Taylor homer. First pitch to him, and misses outside. It is 1-0.
First base dugout area, please, for the Dizzy Bat contest.
Tucker from the right side into the windup. Here's the pitch, and he takes a fastball for a strike, and it is 1-1.
First base dugout area, please.
Adheen works into his windup. Here's the 1-1, and Tucker swings a sharp grounder to the left side. Oh, and through the sliding Gadiel Baez into left field, the base hit. Baez almost a fantastic play on that one, but it took a last-second high hop. And Tucker will be aboard with her first hit of the ball game. And now Jake Taylor. Taylor, who has the big blast in this ball game thus far, the 3-run home run in the 4th. That put the Pacifics on the board and within striking distance. First pitch from Adheen, and Taylor swings a high drive to left field again. Back on it, Hicks. It is gone just over the wall.
It's not a video replay, folks. That is a live Jake Taylor home run.
Hicks leapt for it, nearly able to get it, but Jake Taylor with his 2nd home run in as many at-bats. And the Pacifics are glad to see him coming back alive. It is 7-5 San Rafael here in the 5th.
12 for Jake Taylor.
And just like that, Taylor
52 RBIs
has tied Brent Gillespie for the league lead in home runs, the second man to 12, and that may very well be it for Brent Adheen tonight. Taylor puts a charge into one, and on a cold, still night here at Albert Park, Taylor is responsible for 5 of the 7 Pacific's runs. And we've said it before, when Taylor gets hot, he can put an entire team on his back. Tonight, he's a big reason why the Pacifics are ahead, and now Julian Escobar will start to warm for the Pacifics out in their bullpen. That'll be it for Adheen. If you're not leaving with a smile, then it's time for a change. Think Marshall Motorworks off of Francisco Boulevard East. Father and son keeping you on the road. So Watson will take over. We'll take a quick break while he warms. Still nobody out here in the last of the 5th with the Pacifics leading 7-5. You're listening to the Centerfeld Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Face Joe Watson, and well, Brent Adheen was great through his first 3 innings, but over the last 1+ does implode. First pitch from Watson, and Hova takes a fastball high and tight. Look out. And his 1-0 Adheen ends up going 4+ innings, and Brent, as the 1-0, a fastball from Watson misses outside, is 2-0. Allows 7 runs, all of them earned on 7 hits, walks 1, and strikes out none. 2-0 the count. Watson into his windup. Here's the pitch. And Hova takes in the dirt, ball 3. Watson throws hard but struggles with command. 22 appearances, all from the bullpen. A 1-2 record with the 5 saves, leads the team. He's a 5.87 ERA. He's struck out 36 and walked 34. As Hova taking all the way, fastball at the knees, and it's 3-1. And he struck out 36, walked 34 in 30 innings pitched. And Hova takes way inside. Oh, a 5-pitch walk following the 2-run home run from Jake Taylor. And now Garrett Gimiani will stand in. Well, Jake Taylor, the story of this night thus far. 2 home runs, one a monster home run, a no-doubter. The other, a wall scrape at a left center that Hicks nearly able to bring back. But Taylor finally able to find his stroke after he has struggled. Watson at the belt, first pitch to Gimiani, and he takes a fastball. There for a strike, and it's 0-1. Gimiani, a pair of flyouts, both to center. Both times he barreled up the ball and just did miss it. It's 0-1. Watson at the belt. And Gimiani swings and lifts it high and deep, but well foul to the right side. And quickly, Watson ahead of the count, 0-2. Gimiani, right-handed batter, open stance. And crouch. Watson will step off and look for a new pitch. Here's the pitch, 0-2, and he takes low and inside. A breaking ball from Watson. Nice sharp downward biting action, but it's 1-2. 7-5, San Rafael in the lead, nobody out. Last of the 5th. Here's Watson's 1-2, and he checks his swing. Just able to hold up, 2-2. Well, unlike Michael Hova, Watson worked ahead in this at-bat. Now, he'll try and put away Gimiani if he can. Gimiani, in his 6th game with the Pacifics, has hit safely in his first 5. The 2-2, here's Watson. And Gimiani swings a slow roller over at short. Coming in is Baez. Fields to second one. Relay to first. Not in time. Gimiani beat it out. So a fielder's choice gets the Admirals their first out of the 5th inning. And now Daniel Gonzalez.
Now batting for your Pacifics. Sponsored by Crescelia Jewelers. Number 12, it's Gonzo, Daniel Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, moved to second on a wild pitch by Adheen, and then scored on Gingras' 2 RBI knock. Watson from the belt, first pitch to Gonzalez, and he swings and chops it foul, third base side, and it's 0-1. Right-handed batter is Gonzalez. A closed stance and the knees bowed. Watson at the belt, a one-strike pitch, and Gonzalez takes high inside with the fastball, and it's a 1-1 count. Gonzalez, who had been red hot before getting hit in the wrist by Sean Conroy last week, is 0 for his last 8. 1-1, and he swings and fouls it back and is 1-2. In fact, Gonzalez is just 1 for his last 15. You've seen his average decrease by nearly 28 points over that last span. Second time this year he's gone through a prolonged slump like this. McClellan, Jimiani off first. McClellan's on deck. Here's the pitch, and Gonzalez swings and drives one out into center field. Drifting back, though, is Sanford there with plenty of time to make the catch. And now 2 outs for Mike McClellan. McClellan 1 for 2 today, singled in the 3rd inning to break up the perfect game. And then hit a deep fly ball to right in the 4th. Just did miss it. As have many Pacifics tonight. That was all against Brent Adheen. Watson trying to keep him off the board more. Here in the 5th inning, they've already scored 2 thanks to Taylor's home run. Watson from the belt, and his first pitch to McClellan. And Mike takes a fastball, missing outside, 1-0. 7-5 Pacifics lead. Beautiful night for baseball at Albert Park. Night fully descended. As the 1-0, a slide step, and McClellan takes a fastball down below the knees, but a strike, and it's 1-1. McClellan does possess a lot of power. Both of his home runs this season came in Sonoma. It's a 1-1, and it's low with a breaking ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Left-handed batting Ricky Gingras drove home the tying run back in the 4th on deck. 2-1 pitch, and McClellan swings and fouls it off right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looks as if Watson is giving Mike McClellan a steady diet of breaking balls and trying to get him out on the front foot. Now 2-2, we'll see what Watson goes to. There's Watson at the belt, and the 2-2 pitch. And way outside with the fastball. So with a 3-2 count and 2 outs, Jimiani will be on the move at first base. At the belt, Watson, runner goes, payoff pitch, and McClellan takes off the inside, ball 4. So McClellan draws a 2-out walk here. Now 2 on for the Pacifics, and Ricky Gingras coming up. Well, Watson has come in, walked 2, got a fielder's choice on a flyout, and now finds himself in something of dire straits. Jimiani not the fleetest of foot, but does move well for a catcher first baseman. Mosby will play behind McClellan, who leads from first. Gingras 1 for 2, the 2 RBI knock in the 4th. Tied the game. First pitch from Watson, and Gingras takes a fastball. Strike on the outside, and it's 0-1. Esquivel had been warming for the Pacifics, although it looks as if he has stopped throwing. Either that or he's come into the dugout and is ready. 0-1, and Gingras takes low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnny Bukakis would hit next. The Pacifics leading 7-5 with 2 outs in the last of the 5th. All 7 runs coming off of the starter, Adheen. There's Watson at the belt. Here's the 1-1. And Gingras, a big swing and a foul back and over the grandstand, and it's a 1-2 count. Gingras does possess power. Now the walk-off against Vallejo a couple of Saturdays ago. In fact, in 2 of the bigger Pacifics comebacks this year, Gingras has played major roles. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Watson from the belt. Here's the pitch. And he swings and misses. Strike 3. And the side is out here in the 5th inning. But 2 runs on 2 hits. The big one, the Taylor home run. The Pacifics leave 2 more runners. All right, to the top of the 6th we go. The Pacifics with their first lead of the game. It is 7-5 San Rafael. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Figueroa, 0 for 1. He sacrificed in the second inning. Started an error as a fastball from Kirshner there for a strike. It's 0-1. There's a throwing error on Taylor that allowed a runner to score. Now move Mosby from second over to third. Big part of a 3-run inning the Admirals had in the second as Silva tries to hold back on the slider in the dirt and just does. And a 1-1 counter. Figueroa. Kirshner coming out for his third inning of work held the Admirals scoreless in his first 2 frames. Walked 1, allowed 1 hit. But Kirshner's looked good thus far. 1-1. Kirshner at the chest, and here's the pitch. And the fastball misses low and in. 2 balls and a strike. And Julian Escobar is up and warming again for the Pacific should Kirshner fall into trouble here in the 6th inning. 2-1. Taylor on the grass at third. Kirshner to the plate. A swing and a pop foul. They'll get out of play behind the plate, so 2-2. A 7-5 Pacific's lead as Kirshner is ready at the belt again. And here's the 2-2. Fastball. Just off the inside. Close pitch from Kirshner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Brandon Warner was called upon to spot start today with a pregame injury to Michael Ormseth, who was just getting ready to come off the disabled list today. The payoff pitch, a swing and a foul back to the screen as Figueroa may well have chased ball 4 there. And it'll stay full to him. Figueroa does have decent speed for a catcher. The kind of man you want to put on for free. 3-2. Kirshner from the belt. And he delivers. A swing and a pop-up. Shallow right could be a tough play. Hanging up there, though, as Tucker gets underneath it to his left. And he makes the 2-handed catch. There's 1 away in the 6th inning for Alian Silva. Now, Kirshner does a good job to battle back there.
Now batting for the Admirals.
Silva is 0 for 1. An RBI ground out in the second inning, and he walked on 4 pitches to begin Kirshner's night in the 4th. Made to be cut off by a fielder's choice. Silva, not the biggest of strike zones from the right side. Escobar not warming with urgency for the Pacifics as Kirshner at the belt, and he deals. Slider, strike on the outside, a beauty from Kirshner, and it's 0-1. Right-hander on right-hander. Here's Kirshner at the belt again. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Another slider and another strike, a beauty from Michael Kirshner. And quickly, 0-2. And this may be as sharp as we have seen Kirshner perform at any point this season. He's pounding the zone right now. Good life on all of his pitches. 0-2, and he deals. Slider swung on, grounded softly down the first base line, a foul ball. And 0-2 it'll stay. Now Watson will presumably stay in for at least the 6th inning as nobody is warming up for the Admirals out on their bullpen. Watson has gone multiple innings a couple of times this year. His longest outing, 3 innings against Pittsburgh on July 3rd. Kirshner ready at the belt. Here's the 0-2. Fastball high and tight. Knocks him off the plate. It'll be 1-2. And after seeing 3 straight sliders, which come in mid-80s, that low 90s fastball looks even faster. And Kirshner and Gingras setting up Silva well in this at-bat. 1-2. Kirshner. ready at the belt. And here's the pitch. High again with the fastball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard, it is a 6-2 Diamonds victory over the Stompers at People's Home Equity Park. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, breaking ball down, and Silva becomes Kirshner's second strikeout of the game. And now 2 outs for Gadiel Baez. That was a nice pitch from Kirshner, and he and Gingras carved up Silva a little there. 2 sliders to start off, got another slider fouled off, then went with 2 high fastballs. That came straight down with a slider that started at the knees and then dove out of the zone. And Silva could not hold up. Nice pitch sequence by Kirshner and Gingras. Baez is 1 for 3. Doubled and scored in the first inning. And he's also hit fly balls to right twice. Open stance, the switch hitter from the left side. Kirshner at the belt, his first pitch. And Baez swings, chops it softly first baseline, and it's foul. Well, 0-1. 7-5 Pacific's lead, 2 away, top of the 6th. Kirshner trying for his 3rd inning of relief here. And Kirshner's first big inning was the 4th inning. With the Pacifics down 5-0, he needed to toe the line there, and he did. First scoreless inning of the game. Since then, has not allowed a run. 0-1. Swung on and fouled back. Fastball. In a challenged location up in the zone. But Baez could not handle. And now 0-2. Kirshner has now officially dealt his longest outing of the year. Prior to this, it was 2 1/3 where he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. That was against the same Admirals team a couple weeks ago. 0-2 the count. Kirshner at the belt. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled back and over the grandstand. Baez chases the high fastball, but able to stay alive, and it'll stay 0-2. And Kirshner has shown flashes of brilliance. In 2 straight outings, he did not allow a run to score, and in fact, over 2 innings, struck out 2, walked none, and allowed just 1 hit. He's set 0-2, and here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Narrowly misses high. Very close pitch from Michael Kirshner. And it is a 1-2 count. And I think Ricky Gingras and Eric Thompson are discussing exactly where that one did miss. A close pitch from Kirshner there, trying to backdoor him with a slider. 1-2 now. Kirshner at the belt and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets him on the fastball anyway. And the side is out in order here in the 6th inning. Another nice inning by Michael Kirshner. So we go bottom 6, 7-5. The Pacifics are in the lead. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Joe Watson once again. It'll be Bakakis, then Pace and Tucker to lead off against him. Watson struggled with command in the 5th inning, but was able to keep the Pacifics off the board. However, it was Taylor's 2-run shot that gave them their first lead of the night. And now Kirshner, with his 3 scoreless innings, has given the Pacifics a chance to do what they do so well, and that is pad their lead, and then once they get to the back end, hold it. First pitch to Bakakis, and he checks his swing, leaves the fastball low. Here's a 1-0 count. Bakakis is 1 for 2, a line out to first, and a ground ball through the left side. 1-0. And a fastball in the dirt again, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Watson, and the scouting report is on him, he will struggle with his command. Throws hard, but the fastball will escape him at times. 2 balls, no strikes. He's into his windup. Here's the pitch. And Bakakis takes low. 3-0. He hasn't been close with any of those pitches to Johnny Bakakis. Julian Escobel continues to warm. Looks like he'll come in after the 6th inning. 3-0. Bakakis taking all the way off the plate. Now Watson issues his 3rd walk of the night. And now Zach Pace. Pace does not have a hit tonight, although it was Pace wearing a pitch from Brent Adheen that started the 4th inning rally where the Pacifics would score 5 runs in order to tie the ball game. Now we'll see if Matt Cavanaugh decides to put on a play here. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to do a hit and run. And Bukakis has decent speed, pace, and some of the best back control on the team. Healthy lead for Bukakis away from first. And a fastball from Watson, misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. Other than the hit batsman, Pace is 0 for 2, a ground out to second and a fly out to right. Adheen was stellar through his first 3, allowed just 1 base runner. And everything fell out for him in the 4th. 1-0, here it is, and Pace takes up and away. The fastball misses again, 2 balls and no strikes. Now with Pittsburgh beating Sonoma, those two are now tied once again in last place in the league. 2-0. High and tight with the fastball as Pace bends out of the way. 3 balls, no strikes. Watson has dealt 7 pitches here in the 6th inning. Not one has been in the strike zone. And 6 have not even been close. I'm going to imagine Pace will take at least 1 strike in this at-bat. 3-0 count. Here's Watson. And Pace takes a fastball right down Broadway, 3-1. Well, now the guy's thrown 1 strike out of his 8 pitches. Do you take again if you're Zach Pace? Pace's walk total leads the league by plenty as well. Here's a 3-1, and he takes low ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the 6th inning. Pacifics with runners on first and in second, nobody out. Now Chase Tucker will come up. Zach has now drowned 54 walks on the year. And just to give you an idea of how many that is, he has 48 hits. It is not often that you will see a player walk more than he hits, but Pace has done that this year. Big reason why his on-base percentage is so high. Chase Tucker now working on a nice night. He's 1 for 2, has scored twice, both times on Jake Taylor homers. Watson at the belt. First pitch to Tucker, and he takes a slider for a strike. Nice late movement, and it's 0-1. Tucker leading the league now with 67 hits. Is Watson at the belt, 0-1. Here it is, and misses low this time. It's a 1-1 count. Tucker trying to help the Pacifics pad their 7-5 lead here in the last of the 6th. Watson without an out as of yet. Bukakis at second and Pace at first, both with good wheels. Watson will come set and then step off, looking Bukakis back to the bag at second base. Taylor, who is responsible for 5 of the Pacific's 7 runs, waits on deck. The 1-1. High with the fastball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Watson has now dealt 12 pitches out of the strike zone and 2 inside in this 6th. 2-1. Watson, look at second, and he deals, and Tucker swings a chopper up the middle to his right. Silva, that's through for a base hit. Bukakis being waved around third. Here comes Sanford's throw, and it is not nearly in time. Bukakis able to score standing up, so Chase Tucker with an RBI single, and the Pacifics take an 8-5 lead. And still nobody out in the 6th inning for Jake Taylor.
Now batting for your Pacifics, sponsored by Alton Construction.
After Tucker has seen so many well-struck balls fall right into the glove of an opposing player, he finally gets one to go through there. Not a well-hit ground ball. He chopped it up the middle, but perfectly placed in between Silva and Baez.
RBI number 29 for Chase Tucker.
Now the Pacifics with a 3-run lead. And Taylor, who got something of a spark, 2 home runs in his last 2 at-bats. First pitch from Watson, and he misses low. It's 1-0. Watson has a base to play with. It is third, but he may well just pitch around Jake Taylor in this at-bat. Watson at the belt, the 1-0, and Taylor swings. A line drive out into left field. Coming on is Hicks. He makes the catch on the run. And there is 1 out here in the 6th inning. Well, now Taylor can't seem to miss the barrel of the bat. He blasted that one, just topspin, but hanging up enough for Hicks to get there.
Number 10,
bring up Michael Hova. We'll go ahead and make your Marin Auto Glass drive of the game, the 3-run home run in the 4th inning. One of the longest home runs we've seen this year, and also put the Pacifics on the board. Runners go, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back and over. And it is 0-1. Both Pace and Tucker with good jumps there, but Hova unable to put it in play. So broken glass, fix it fast. Remember, at Marin Auto Glass. Run in on a hit here in the 6th. The Pacifics trying to expand the lead. Already at 8-5. As Watson at the belt. Here's the 0-1. And he misses low this time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Escobar just throwing to stay loose now in the bullpen. Nice long inning for the Pacifics here in the 6th. 0-1, and Watson will step off and look Pace back to the bag at second. And the Pacifics have had some incredible comebacks this year. The most incredible, of course, over in Pittsburgh, as Hova swings and pops it foul, out of play again. And it's 1-2. Where they came back from 9 runs down in the 8th inning. Ended up winning that game in extras. And against Vallejo, a week and a half ago, they came back from 8 down with 4 innings to go. 1-2. Here it is, and Hova checks his swing. The ball's in the dirt and gets by Figueroa to the backstop. Pace and Tucker will advance a base each. Now the second wild pitch of the game for the Admirals. And the Pacifics with 2 runners in scoring position. A 2-2 count to Hova. You could just throw around him here to get to Gimiani, but Gimiani has narrowly missed 2 balls tonight. He's also reached on a fielder's choice. But now that's important because you take the double play that would end the inning out of order. Watson at the belt with the infield creeping in. Here it is 2-2, and Hova swings and pops it foul. That'll get out of play to the right side. The count will remain 2s to Hova. Just 1 out here in the 6th. 2 walks to start the inning, then Tucker with a ground ball base hit up the middle. And scored a run. Now Hova has a pair more in scoring position for himself. 2-2. Here's Watson. And a swing and a grounder right at Baez. Pace is going to try and score. Here comes the throw. He doesn't slide, and he is out as Silva able to hold on to the ball. So Baez able to gun down Pace at home, trying to score. I think off the bat, and he had a good chance there. But Hova with an Adam ball. Now 2 outs. The infield will sag back for Gimiani. But that wild pitch is huge because that had tailor-made double play written on it had there been a runner at first. So the Pacifics will stay alive with runners on the corners. First pitch to Gimiani from Watson, and he swings and misses. Out of his shoes at a breaking ball down, and it's 0-1. I guess the way to put that is that Gimiani not cheated out of that swing. 2.5 cheeks. Either way, Tucker at third, Hova at first with 2 outs. Gimiani has narrowly missed home runs twice today. Just under fly balls in the 2nd and 4th innings. Is the 0-1, and he takes a good fastball on the inside. It's 0-2. Gimiani just 1 extra base hit and 1 run batted in as well since joining the Pacifics last Thursday. And the 0-2, and he swings and fouls it back right on the fastball from Watson. And it'll stay 0-2. 1 run across in the inning. San Rafael holding an 8-5 lead. Came all the way back down from 5-0. Thanks in part to 2 home runs from Jake Taylor, 1 for 3 runs, 1 for 2. And the 2 RBI single from Gingras. Here's the 0-2, and Gimiani swings and fouls it back again. He's not missing those fastballs much by Watson. Count will remain 0-2. Now Figueroa has seen 2 balls in the dirt get past him today. Having that runner at third put some extra pressure on the younger catcher. 0-2. Watson to the plate. Breaking ball, misses. Strike 3 called on the outside. And the inning is over. So Gimiani sees the outside corner grow a little on the breaking ball, but Watson able to minimize the damage. A run on 1 hit, and the Pacifics strand a pair. As we are through 6, the Pacifics holding an 8-5 lead with Escobar set to take over. You're listening to the Centerfeld Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Son, keeping you on the road. Julian Escobar will take the place of Michael Kirshner. And Kirshner was stellar tonight. 3 scoreless innings, allowing just 2 runners to reach, a hit and a walk, and he strikes out 3. You could argue Michael Kirshner's best outing of the year. And now Escobar, who has been solid for the Pacifics out of the bullpen, will take over. 24 appearances for Julian. He's 4-1 with a 4.19 ERA. Struck out 32, walked 19 in 38 2/3. He'll face Sanford, then Phillips and Hicks. Sanford, the switch hitter from the left side, with the infield drawn in. Sanford 1 for 3. Reached on an error in the first, stole second, singled in the second, stole second. As a fastball from Escobar, there for his strike down the middle. It's 0-1. Escobar with a fastball that moves into the high 80s, a splitter and a slider. 0-1. Kicks into his windup, and here's the pitch. And Sanford takes the fastball, missing high. 1-1. A 3-run cushion for this bullpen. And Escobar likely will be asked to give 2 to bridge the gap to J.R. Bunda. The 1-1 and a fastball. Strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2. And it bears mentioning that the sequence of events that brought us to this point would not have been possible had Barnett and Conroy not thrown back-to-back complete games. The bullpen was about as rested as you can get late in August. 1-2. Here's Escobar. Splitter, checked at, just fouled off at the plate. And it'll stay 1-2. And none of the Pacifics at bullpen had appeared since Saturday. At minimum 3 days off, and Kirshner had not thrown since last Friday. So Warner able to give 3 and a spot start. Kirshner able to give 3. Now you bridge it to the back end. 1-2. Escobar flutters the glove. Here it is. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 away.
Yes, sir. One more K for kids, courtesy of the Bank of Marin.
5 strikeouts in the game now for Pacific's pitching.
Total this year at $4,290.
Bring up P.J. Phillips. Phillips is 0 for 3. Hit the ball well all 3 times, though. Flew out to the wall in the first inning. Medium deep fly out in the second. He lined out to the right to end the 4th. It is dangerous. Waggles the bat, choked up. First pitch from Escobar. And a slider there for a strike, 0-1. Phillips, the player manager, who has been seeing less and less time of late. A tough gig player manager. 1 strike pitch. And misses low, and it's 1-1. Phillips had just appeared in 3 games over the last calendar week. And is 3 for his last 13. Does have 1 home run. As Escobar into the windup. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, hammered deep to left. Bukakis moving back on it, still back. He leaps and he can't make the catch as he crashes against the wall. Phillips trying for second. Bukakis will hit Gonzalez, the cutoff man. But P.J. Phillips with a stand-up double. Johnny Bukakis nearly making a sensational play out in the gap. And I think Kenny Owen is asking why that ball's not a home run. And Bukakis went back on that ball, left, and nearly made a sensational grab. And Owen, not too happy about it. He thinks that ball went over. Dean Poteet, the base umpire, though, in good position to see. Now Phillips in scoring position. And for PJ, It's his 4th double of the year after he had 27 to set a league record last season. Hicks now, who is 2 for 3 tonight. Pair of singles, scored a run in the 3rd inning. Hicks on the right side. I know somebody just got ejected. And I think it's Kenny Owen, the third base coach, just got ejected. Well, second time that Owen has been ejected since serving as the bench coach for the Admirals. I guess he just continued to bark at Dean Poteet after that ball. It didn't look like from here they went out. It's interesting, this is the second time over the last couple of weeks that we've seen a ball that, in theory, not left the ballpark. And in fact, I was talking to Dean Poteet. It was a fly ball down the left field line last weekend. Bikakis leapt over the wall to grab it. It hit the heel of his glove, then hit off the foul pole, then off the yellow piping, and then came back into the field of play, that one. This time, I believe Bikakis knocked it down, and then it hit the wall, meaning that, hey, it is still in play. So Owen has been ejected for the second time in his mini series against the Pacifics. Roman Gomez will take over at 3rd. Still no count to Joe Hicks, with P.J. Phillips over at 2nd base. Escobar will try and work around it, though. Escobar from the belt, and a fastball that Hicks misses low. It's a 1-0 count. You do have first base open. You can throw around him to get to Williams, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Hicks has been hitting the ball well of late. Now 11 for his last 26. 1-0. Escobar deals. Swung on a broken bat. The Squibbler found to the right side. It'll be 1-1. And Hicks will ask for a new piece of lumber here. And talk about sawing a guy off. That was a fastball that ran up and into Hicks's kitchen. And now he'll stand in with a new bat. 8-5 the Pacifics lead, 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Escobar working from the first base side of the hill. And now he's ready, 1-1. Here's the pitch. And Hicks swings a high chopper over to the left side. Taylor fields, strong throw across, it's in time. Phillips the third on the play, but 2 outs. And now Tim Williams will stand in. What made that play difficult for Jake Taylor is that he had P.J. Phillips, who, by the way, is no small individual, barreling down at him at full speed. So Phillips doing his best to screen Taylor as Jake tried to make the play, but able to handle the high hop. And now Escobar 1 out away from getting out of this unscathed. Williams, who's 0 for 3, a pair of flyouts to center. He also grounded out to short. Right-handed batter. As Escobar ready at the belt. First pitch to Williams. Fastball swung on, driven out to left field. Well struck. Back on to Bikakis. Way back, looking up. It is gone. Williams with a 2-run home run. And we have a closer ball game again. It is 8-7 Pacifics here in the 7th inning. And Escobar came in with the first pitch fastball and it was up in the zone. Williams put a great swing on it. His 5th home run of the season, leads the team.
Now batting for the Admirals, number 20, Gerald Bautista.
Now Bautista will come up, base is empty. And Escobar still holding a lead here. Bautista 2 for 3, couple of singles, scored on an error. Escobar into his windup, first pitch. And Bautista takes a splitter for his strike. It's 0-1. Many of Escobar's pitches elevated here in the 7th inning. As he's working quickly, here's the 0-1. And he misses low and away with the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bautista with an open stance. Escobar kicks into his windup. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and lifted foul to the right side. Fastball in on the hands, and Bautista couldn't do anything with it. And now 1-2 the count to him. Escobar started things off well with a strikeout of Darian Sanford. And the double after the ground out a 2-run home run. There's Escobar into the windup. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Came in with a slower slider. And Bautista down hacking to end the 7th inning. But 2 runs on the Tim Williams homer. And all of a sudden we are having a 1-1 ball game. It is 8-7 Pacifics in the middle of the 7th. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Between the Pacifics and Admirals, the first 5 will take place here at Albert Park. And then we'll culminate things on Sunday with a 1:05 start over in Vallejo. Gonzalez, who was 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch and then scored on Gingras' single in the 4th inning. Squares to bunt and takes a breaking ball from Watson down below the zone. It's 1-0. Watson able to mop things up in the 5th inning, allowed just 1 run in the 6th, despite being in trouble the entire time. Has walked 4 men in his 2 innings of work. The 1-0 to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez swings and flares one out into short left. Coming on Hicks, he goes into a dive, and he makes the catch. Joe Hicks with a sensational play out in left field. And Gonzalez retired for the first out of the 7th inning. Gonzalez broke the bat and nearly dunked that one in. But Hicks with a highlight reel grab. Wow, what a play. McClellan now, who is 1 for 2. Walked in the 5th and singled up the middle in the 3rd. First pitch from Watson and is way outside and all the way to the backstop. It is a 1-0 count.
And thank you to our partners at Marin Sanitary for helping us make Albert Park.
McClellan does have power for the right side. The 1-0. And the fastball misses in tight, 2-0. Watson working quickly. 2 balls, no strikes. Here it is. Inside, that hit him on the hip. McClellan just took a good low 90s fastball off the hip. That's the 3rd Pacific's batter to be hit by a pitch today. Now Ricky Gingras.
Now batting for your Pacifics.
And so far in this game, both men who have been hit by pitches came around to score. They both came in the 4th, and both out of the hand of Brent Adheen. Gingras from the left side is 1 for 3. 2 RBI single in the 4th inning. Struck out swinging in the 5th. Watson delivers, and Gingras takes low and away. Figueroa can't quite find it, but McClellan not going anywhere as it doesn't get out of the dirt circle. It's 1-0. 8-7 San Rafael lead with 1 out in the 7th inning. 3 home runs hit in this ball game, 2 off the bat of Jake Taylor. And then Tim Williams with a 2-run shot in the top of the 7th. San Rafael trying to get at least one of those back. As Watson from the belt, the 1-0. And Gingras swings and fouls it back, 1-1. Gingras does have power. Much like Chase Tucker, has been hitting the ball well just right at people. In fact, over the last couple games, he's had no fewer than 3 balls that should have gone out absent of the wind as he swings and fouls it back again. Right on the fastball, but it's 1-2. Now, if he can straight one out tonight, it's a quiet night here in San Rafael. And not much wind to speak of. Well, obviously not coming in. So with 3 balls going out tonight, Gingras to be all in the clear. 1-2, and he takes outside with the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McClellan leads from first, not the biggest threat to steal. There's Watson working from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. And Gingras swings and fouls it back. As Watson continues to deliver fastballs, and Gingras not missing by much. 2-2, it'll stay to him. Well, the second half trend for the Pacifics is that they have fared well in one-run ball games. And it's interesting because in the first half, that was not necessarily the case. In fact, in the first half of the season, the Pacifics were 7-6 in one-run games. 2-2, and Gingras swings and fouls it out of play again. And it'll remain 2-2 to him. In the second half, they are 6-1. What that tells you is that the bullpen has been consistent and good for the Pacifics since the turn of the second half of the season. It also tells you a lot of their games have been close. 2-2, here it is, and Gingras swings a slow roller back to the mound. Watson stumbles as he fields. Will toss to get the sure out at first, pulls Mosby off the bag, but he's able to get there in time to get Gingras to second on the play. Goes Mike McClellan. And now there are 2 outs for Johnny Bukakis. Now that was a bizarre play, and Gingras barely made contact with one. A cue shot off the end of the bat, and it slowly made its way to the round. And I think that Watson may have deked himself into being too aggressive at that ball. It caused him to lose his balance and fall backwards on the mound onto his behind, and from there knew he wasn't going to get McClellan at second, so instead decided to get the sure out. Now Bukakis has McClellan in scoring position. See if he can bring him around. Watson from the bounce. First pitch to Bukakis in the dirt, and a good stab by Figueroa to his right. McClellan was way off the bag. He'll have to retreat back as Figueroa not going to look at him, though. It's 1-0. Watson trying to work around the hit batsman unscathed as he misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Watson, I guess you could say, has been effectively wild the last 3 innings. Just 1 run is, just 1 hit. But he has walked 4 and hit 1 man. 2-0, here's the pitch. Low and away, 3-0. Ball squirts away from Figueroa. Not far enough, though. McClellan will hold at second. 3 balls, no strikes to Bukakis. From Watson's perspective, he has a base open at first, so no harm done if he does walk Bukakis. Though Zach Pace, representing the top of the order, waits on deck. 3-0. Watson at the belt. Here it is. And that misses high, so Johnny Bukakis draws his second walk of the night. Now 2 on with 2 outs for Zach Pace. Watson has now walked 5 men in his 2 2/3 innings. That'll bring Figueroa out to the mound. Nobody warming for the Admirals on the bullpen, although it looks as if Luis Ferreras may start warming. Or not Ferreras. Tough to tell, the sweatshirt's still donned by the Admirals bullpen. A reminder on the Weaver's Coffee and Tea out-of-town scoreboard. The Pittsburgh Diamonds have already defeated the Sonoma Stompers to even up at that series at 1 game apiece. And that's what exactly the Pacifics want to happen over in Sonoma this week, is for those teams to go 3-3 against each other. And obviously the Pacifics want to win as many games against Vallejo as possible. It's interesting because this is an Admirals team that until the second half had played exceptionally against the Pacifics this year. Watson from the belt, first pitch to Pace. He misses low with the fastball. It's 1-0. In fact, a couple of series ago, the Admirals were 8-4 against the Pacifics in 2016. Now, San Rafael 10-9. Hoping to hold on, make it 11-9. 1-0, and Pace swings and pops it foul. Third base side, Bautista giving chase, but it'll fall out of play. 1-1. Now, speaking with Mike Alhova about it yesterday, and he was saying that this is a week where the Pacifics, they need to just come out and do their job, but also remind themselves to have fun, because you can get bogged down in the minutia of a pennant race as the 1-1. And Pace swings and fouls it off third base side again. Could be playable. Bautista coming over. That one out of play as well. And be 1-2 now to Zach Pace. You're saying this is an important series, though. Also said that this is a team that, as long as they execute, they play solid defense, the starters can get 6 innings. If the bullpen can hold on, team that can make it to the championship game for the 3rd year out of 4. 1-2, here's Watson. And Pace swings and lifts one out into left field. Well struck, moving back is Hicks, still moving back. On the run, he makes the catch. He was played shallowly and has to make a great running catch. So Joe Hicks with a couple of fine plays in left field here in the 7th. And the Pacific strand 2 more. Through the 7th inning, it is an 8-7 Pacifics lead. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Around as we head to the top of the 8th inning. He'll face the bottom of the order. Mosby, Figueroa, and Silva, with the Pacifics carrying an 8-7 lead. What a bizarre ball game we've seen here today. The Pacifics committed 2 critical errors in the first 2 innings, and by the end of the 3rd found themselves trailing 5-0. Remember, Michael Ormseth was scheduled to start today, felt some tightness in his elbow before the start, and will be examined tomorrow, was unable to make the start. So Brandon Warner was asked to spot start, gave up 5 runs. Only 1 of them was earned in his 3 innings of pitching. And then Michael Kirshner came on and was stellar in his 3 innings. And then Jake Taylor, the other main story of the night, 2 home runs, good for 5 RBIs for Jake. As Escobar will look to pitch a quiet 8th here. Mosby takes a fastball, missing off the plate inside. It's 1-0. Here's Escobar working quickly. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And Mosby takes a fastball there for a strike this time, and it's 1-1. And the Pacifics came back to take a 3-run lead, thanks to Taylor's 2 homers, a 2 RBI single from Gingras, and an RBI knock from Chase Tucker. And the Admirals, persistent as ever, the 1-1. And he backs Mosby off the plate with the fastball inside. It's 2-1. And because of 2 runs scored by Williams' home run, it's a 1-run ball game. 2-1, Escobar to the plate. Swing and a miss. Escobar comes in with a splitter and gets Mosby. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wendell Floranis has started to warm for the Admirals out in the bullpen. As Escobar kicks into the windup. Here's the 2-2. And the slider misses down below the zone, 3-2. Nice pitch from Escobar there. The right idea. Mosby just disciplined enough to hang on. Lydell 0 for 2. Walked and scored in the 2nd. He's also grounded out and struck out. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and tipped off of Gingras. Ricky just missing that one. And if he'd squeezed, it would have been strike 3. However, Mosby will stay alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count still. Escobar is into the windup, and here's the payoff pitch. And he misses low with the heater, so Mosby draws a leadoff walk. He represents the tying run for Kyle Figueroa. And we'll see if the Admirals decide to put a bunt on here, move that tying run into scoring position. J.R. Bunda, the closer, has started to loosen for the Pacifics out on the bullpen, as is Clint Monzo. Is Escobar at the belt. Figueroa squares, pulls to take the fastball high and away. And a 1-0 count. Not a situation where you can afford a walk here. Move the tying run into scoring position. 1-0. Escobar from the stretch. Mosby at first, not a threat to steal. Here's the 1-0, and Figueroa pulls to take the fastball for a strike this time. It's 1-1. Taylor on the grass at 3rd. They're going to ask Figueroa to bunt that run into scoring position. Figueroa, no successful sacrifices this year. He bunts a hard bunt right over to the first base side. Tough play for Escobar. Slides, bare hand pickup, throws to first in time. What a play by Julian Escobar off the mound. Figueroa barreled that ball up, put it between the mound and second base. The only play was for Escobar, who quite athletic, springing off the mound, going into a slide, and then barehanding the ball to McClellan. Well, big first down, but Mosby in the scoring position for Alian Silva. Silva's 0 for 2. RBI ground out in the second inning. Escobar pinching for anything that keeps Mosby at second. One look at Mosby. First pitch, breaking ball, catches the inside, and it's 0-1. Silva was struck out by that slider in the 6th inning, although it was Kirshner's at the time. Front door breaking ball. 0-1. Mosby represents the tying run at second with an 8-7 Pacifics lead. Escobar at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Chases the breaking ball down on the dirt, and it's 1-2, or 0-2. Another fine pitch from Julian Escobar. Saw that Silva, a free swinger earlier in the game. And that can chase again here in the later innings. Escobar has what he wants. 0-2. Fastball. And not miss the inside corner by much. It'll be 1-2. Nice pitch from Escobar. And had Silva backing up out of the way of it, although it looked a lot closer. And Silva would have made it appear there. 1-2. Escobar is ready. Look at Mosby. Here's the pitch. And he misses high with a splitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And not a hitter that you can afford to lose here. A walk would be the end of the world, although the 2 men who are on deck and in the hole, Baez and Sanford, are tough to double up. You'd much rather get the out here. 2-2 as Bunda has started the warm. Escobar at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped foul. Right side out of play. 2-2. Another breaking ball, and Silva gave chase. An off-balance swing, but able to put the bat on the ball just enough to stay alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Escobar trying to work out of the jam. Has the tying run in scoring position with 1 out. Escobar at the belt. A look at second. 2-2. Fastball swung on and lined up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Mosby's going to be waved around third. Here comes Pace's throw. It is going to be too late on the ground. Mosby comes in to score. And Escobar has given up all 3 runs that have allowed the Admirals to tie the game. It is 8-8 here in the top of the 8th inning. And the leadoff walk comes back to bite Escobar and the Pacifics. And the bullpen, which has been so good for the Pacifics in these close ball games of late, has, at least for the time, blown the lead. Now Escobar has to get down to it and get at Baez here. Baez, 1 for 4. Double down the line in the first inning. He's hit 2 flyouts to right, struck out swinging. Escobar from the stretch. Silva away from the bag at first. As Baez a half swing and a pop foul, third base side. Taylor giving chase. And he can't make the catch. Would have fallen out of play anyway. It's 0-1. One run on 1 hit in this 8th inning. And Bunda continues to throw for the Pacifics out in their bullpen, but with the 2-run home run from Williams and the RBI single from Silva, Admirals have been able to come back in their own regard. The Pacific's down from 5, Vallejo down from 3. 0-1. Here's Escobar. Misses high with a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Baez does not have the biggest of strike zones, standing at 5-6. And Escobar, who was so good for the Pacifics in the month of July, has not been as finite as we've seen him. 1-1. Silva, healthy lead, held on by McClellan. Here it is, and Baez swings and lifts one out into left field. Bukakis drifting over to his right. He's underneath to make the one-handed catch. 2 away in the 8th inning for Darian Sanford. That was a big out from Escobar. Needed to get that second out. Sanford, 1 for 3. He singled in the 2nd inning, stole 2nd, reached on an error in the 1st inning, stole 2nd. 4 of the runs that Brandon Warner allowed tonight went down as unearned because of the 2 errors that the Pacifics made early in the ball game. Taylor's home runs brought them right back into it. In fact, gave them the lead, which now they have squandered here in the later innings. Escobar to the plate. Sanford squares, gets one down right in front of the plate. Gingras barehand pickup, throws to first just in time with Sanford's speed. And the side is out here in the 8th inning, but the Admirals tie it up on 1 hit. They leave a man. To the last of the 8th we go. 8-8 ball game. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Will take over, and if you're not leaving with a smile, then it's time for a change. Think Marshall Motorworks off of Francisco Boulevard East. Father and son, keeping you on the road. So Joe Watson ends up going 3 quality innings, worked in and out of trouble the entire time. 1 run on 1 hit, walks 5, hits a man, and strikes out 2. Yet he toes the line enough
Number 6, Chase.
And gives the Admirals the chance to come back and tie this game. And now the 2-3-4 batters will try and put the Pacifics back on top. Floranis from the chest, first pitch to Tucker, and he checks his swing, leaves the fastball high. There's a 1-0 count. Floranis working quickly, and Tucker swings and misses at a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Floranis in 18 appearances. 0-1 his record with 1 save, a 4.66 ERA, 37 strikeouts, 32 walks, and 36 2/3. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Tucker swings and misses. Late on a fastball again, it's 1-2. Floranis, like many pitchers in this Admirals bullpen, struggles with the zone at times. And the Pacifics would take a walk here, put the lead runner aboard. Floranis working from the stretch. Here's the 1-2, and he misses very high with the fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coming in, just throwing fastballs at this point. Tucker, 2 hits and 3 trips to the plate. He scored twice, both on Taylor homers, and he drove home a run in the 6th. Checks his swing, leaves the fastball up and out of the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, while the Pacifics would love the leadoff walk, and the last thing the Admirals want in this situation. 3-2. Floranis to the plate. And Tucker swings and fouls it back, a fastball right down the middle. And Tucker was on it. And the count will stay full to him. Floranis. From the stretch, the bases are empty. Payoff pitch. And Tucker swings a ground ball up the middle, softly hit. To his left, Baez from behind the bag at second, throws across in time. Tucker is retired to begin the 8th inning. And now Jake Taylor.
Now batting for your Pacifics.
On Taylor's bat, responsible for 5 of the Pacific's 8 runs tonight. A 3-run home run in the 4th, a 2-run homer in the 5th, and he lined out sharply in the 6th inning. He was also robbed of a hit by a diving Tim Williams in the 1st, so Taylor has been putting the bat on the ball well tonight. Might be an understatement. Floranis to the dish. And Taylor swings and cues it foul. He hung a breaking ball, did Floranis, but Taylor way out in front of it. No balls, 1 strike. Taylor tucks the elbows, slide the open stance. The 0-1, breaking ball, and it misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Floranis at the chest, the 1-1. Taylor, big swing and a miss through the fastball. And a 1-2 count now. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Admirals. 8 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for San Rafael. And prior to the game today, we talked about how the defense had been good for the Pacifics of late. Entering play, they'd gone 25 straight innings without committing an error. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew the fastball by him. And Floranis gets the first 2 men here in the 8th inning. It'll bring on Michael Hova.
Now batting for your Pacifics, number 10.
And the Pacifics committed 2 errors, 1 in each of the first 2 innings. And those errors directly allowed 2 runs to score, and you could argue allowed 4 runs to score. And the difference in this ball game right now. First pitch to Hova, breaking ball, big swing and a miss. Hova out of his shoes on that hack, and it is 0-1.
Requested by Jane.
Floranis at the chest. Here's the 0-1 to Hova. Breaking ball swung on and popped up. Right by the plate, Figueroa has trouble finding it. Now tosses the mask, makes the one-handed catch. And the Pacifics are retired in order for the first time since the 2nd inning. So we'll go to the 9th, all knotted up at 8. You're listening to the San Rafael Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Julian Escobar goes 3 innings, allows 3 runs on 3 hits. He walks 1 and strikes out 2. That walk was critical, though. The tying run in the 8th inning, which ended up coming around to score on the single by Silva. So now Bunda, who's been dominant as a closer this year. On the right side, Bunda in 21 appearances, all out of the bullpen. 3-2 record with a league-leading 11 saves, 2.66 earned run average, 31 strikeouts to 8 walks. In 27 innings pitched. He'll face the heart of the order here in the 9th inning. Tough assignment for him. Bunda working from the stretch. His first pitch to Phillips. Fastball right there on the inside. It's 0-1. Phillips doubled in the 7th inning, then came around to score on the Williams 2-run homer. 0-1. Bunda from the belt. And he delivers. Another fastball, just missing the outside. Close pitch from Bunda. That's 1-1. Bunda fastball, high 80s to low 90s. Bringing it with a 2-seamer, a couple of breaking balls as well. 1-1. Bunda working from the belt. And he delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded right at Tucker. He sucks it in from one knee. Will stand up and throw out Phillips. 3 pitches to get 1 out for J.R. Bunda here in the 9th inning, and Joe Hicks will come to the plate.
Now batting for Vallejo, number 10, Joe Hicks.
Bunda trying to hold the line here and give the Pacifics the chance to walk off in the last of this 9th inning. Bunda also can give you some length out of the pen if you need it. Was a starter for San Rafael last year. Although if you're the Pacifics, you'd consider that a worst-case scenario. First pitch to Hicks. Fastball, strike. Right there, it's 0-1. You want Bunda fresh for any of the next 4 games you'll have against these Admirals. 0-1. Bunda from the belt. He kicks and he delivers. Breaking ball, drops through for a strike, and it's 0-2. Hicks is 2 for 4 today, couple of singles, scored a run in the third inning. Also was struck out and grounded out to third. 0-2, Bunda to the plate. Breaking ball, missing the outside and not by much, 1-2. And that was great play discipline by Hicks to leave that one off there. Tough pitch to leave. 1-2. Bunda working quickly. And he deals. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. In on the hands with the heater. Second out of this 9th inning. And now Tim Williams.
Yes, sir. One more K for kids, courtesy of the Bank of Marin.
Well, Michael Kirshner with 3 great innings of relief, giving the Pacifics the chance to be in this ball game. Taylor's 2 home runs. And then 2 RBIs from Gingras, 1 from Tucker. The Admirals used 5 runs in their first 3 innings, fueled by a couple of Pacific's errors. Tim Williams, the big 2-run homer in the 7th. Halion Silva, RBI knock in the 8th. As now as Bunda comes set, Williams will be granted time. Activity in the Admirals bullpen. I believe it's Josh Evans who has started to throw. Bunda from the belt. And his first pitch to Williams. And a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Big part of what's made Bunda so successful this year is his ability to get ahead with first pitch strikes. Often an underrated part of pitching. As Bunda from the belt. And here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled back. And quickly, Williams finds himself in an 0-2 hole. And now after throwing 2 fastballs to get ahead in the count, Bunda can go wherever he wants. (0-2). Bunda at the belt. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, laid off, misses in the dirt. It's 1-2. Two outs, top of the 9th inning. 8-8 the score. Bunda. Couple of shakes at Gingras, and now he has what he wants. 1-2 the count from the belt. A deep breath, he'll kick, he'll deal. Swung on and tipped off at Gingras, and careens way off to the right. Gingras looks to be okay, though, and it'll stay 1-2. Right-handed batting, Gerald Bautista would be next for Vallejo. Bunda hoping to not let it get there. 1-2 count from the belt. And now Williams will be granted time after Bunda had already started his motion, and that is much too late, at least according to the rule book. That'll be 1-2. Bunda coming ready again. And he'll kick and he'll deliver. Swung on and driven out into center field. Pace moving back. Slowing up now as he approaches the wall. He'll make the catch. And the side is out in order here in the 9th inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. The Pacifics will try and walk off. We are tied at 8. You're listening to the Center Felt Pacifics on the Pacifics Radio Network. Around and try and send this game to extras. We are tied at 8, and the Pacifics will try and walk off for the 3rd time this season. Daniel Gonzalez did so with the double against Pittsburgh in the first couple of weeks of the year. Ricky Gingras did so against these same Admirals a week and a half ago. Jim Yanni is 0 for 4 today. 2 flyouts to center, reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th inning, and also struck out looking. First time facing Floranis, though. First pitch, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Inner half, it's 0-1. Gimiani and McClellan, both with lots of power. Here's the 0-1. And Gimiani swings, high drive, deep left field. Back on it, Hicks. It is out of here.
Garrett Gimiani sends everybody home.
Walk-off home run, Garrett Gimiani, the first professional home run. And he sends the Pacifics home with a 9-8 victory here over Vallejo. And there goes the ice bucket on Gimiani. What a game for the Pacifics tonight. They fell behind 5-0 early, and they come back to win in a tremendous victory. 3 home runs hit today, accounting for 6 of the Pacific's 9 runs. And Garrett Gimiani, he's been flirting with the home run for about a week now, ever since he joined the Pacifics last Thursday. And that one, a no-doubter off the bat, barreled it up, a shot over the left center field wall. And the Pacifics win the second game of the 6-game series. And Gimiani being mobbed around home plate right now by his team, the rookie, with his first pro home run. And it sends us home here tonight for the 3rd Pacifics walk-off of the season. What a ball game we had here tonight. 2 errors for the Pacifics, yet they were able to overcome it, and they were able to come back from a 5-run deficit thanks to 5 RBIs by Jake Taylor, including 2 home runs, and overcome a collapse of the bullpen in order to win here tonight. What a ball game. The Pacifics improved to 12-5 in the second half. That's the best record in the second half by far, 33-23 overall. They are 10 games over 500, their best mark of the season.